What's up? What's up? Good evening, everybody, or good night, whatever. Max has no stream tonight. He said he may not be streaming for a little bit because he's be away for this weekend. So I'll be streaming tonight on my channel. This is a Batman thing, topic. Yes, AWO here, guys. Matt Reeves has come up with an update with his sequel series. I want to find it from Collider. And before I want to get into this, did he really? Oh, okay, whatever. No, you didn't. Oh, you met? No, you didn't. Come on. Before we get into this, I'm going to tell you this. I'm very, very angry. Not at Batman, not at DC, not at Marvel, not the Snyder stuff. I'm actually very mad at wrestling right now with the WWE stuff because if WWE does sell to Saudi Arabia, I'm done with WWE. Okay? I'm just gonna let you know. I know it sounds like a boycotting, and yes, I'll be boycotting. Okay? If they sell to Saudi Arabia, I have a legit reason why to boycott WWE. Okay? Based on if they sell to the Saudi Arabia regime, based on how human rights stuff there, how they treat the LGBTQ community, the women, that women cannot be in power, they have to be accompanied by a man, something like that. If WWE does sell it, I'm done with them. Okay, I'm done with them. Done with WWE. And don't call me out for like being I'm not gonna swear. Actually, there's a reason why I'm not gonna swear now. I'm gonna be careful. So if you come on the stream, don't swear because there is a monetizing thing now with swearing. Apparently, even though they said 10 to 15 seconds, it's really not. So don't swear. But I'll be done. Okay. Okay, I'll be done. I'm just letting you know, and I'm gonna make a stream about that. I'm not doing it on my wrestling channel. Okay, I'll make a stream about WWE, but this one stream about WWE is not gonna be on my wrestling channel. It's gonna be on this channel. I have to get more of it out because this stream is not about that. It's gonna be about who the potential suitors are. Okay, but I'm gonna leave it at that. But let's talk Batman. So the Batman sequel. So Matt Reeves, there's an article that came out yesterday. An article that came out yesterday. And also do me a favor, like, share, subscribe. An article that came out yesterday from Collider. Matt Reeves an interview with Collider, updating us on the script for the sequel, the Penguin series, and apparently he's gonna have a meeting with James Gunn. Okay. So yeah, okay. And we're gonna talk I'm gonna let you guys know. I'm gonna talk a little bit about Snyder, the Netflix stuff, and why that's a stupid thing. I know, and we're gonna get to them. So I'm gonna send a link. We're not gonna go long. Oh, really? Well, I met Peacemaker and Black Adam. I am not lying. I have. I've not met Drax. So beat that, guys. Or I met Casca Reeves from Mandalorian too. Okay? Oh, I didn't send you a link? Oh, whatever. You know what? I want the team members in here too. I do have the Collider article. I'll get to that. So if I'm a little heated, it's because of the wrestling stuff, which I'm definitely like upset. I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna make a video on that or stream on this channel, but the rest that the WWE stuff because a lot of potential buyers out there. You'd be surprised. And it's gonna be on here, and I'm gonna have and but the Saudi if he does sell the Saudi, I'm 100% down with WWE. I can't support a company that's owned literally owned by that government and how and their views. I okay. So we're gonna end around. We're gonna do my best to end around 12, 12:30. Okay, not go long. I don't want you know a lot of people on. Well, I do. I don't mind a lot of people, but keep it civil. And I also gotta post this link in my Discord, which I forgot. Oh, really? Well, George is it's in my DM group, so that you could click in the DM group. All right. I can't even see. Okay. Hey, George.
What up?
How are you tonight?
I'm doing fine. I'm glad I'm getting through. I'm almost done with another week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Discord's updating now. Shit. Oh, I shouldn't. No, damn! I said that word. Yeah, we gotta be careful. We can't swear. It's
Yeah.
really
Well,
demout.
otherwise you'll get demonetized.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on my channel until I get monetized, feel free to curse on it, but don't say the F word.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, until then, my
Oh,
channel's
I didn't. I thought that was a joke on Max's channel because there was a lot of swearing yesterday on his channel. I'm like, oh, I didn't know it was serious, and apparently it was serious. Hey,
What about
Arkham.
swearing?
Yeah.
so
You,
I guess I'm gonna have to say fudge if I'm like, oh fudge.
okay, I
I
got it.
thought it's only for monetized people. So, say you're not monetized, can you still curse?
I think so.
Oh, so we can still curse on my channel, guys.
I could
Yeah.
curse on my job. Like, I,
I think of all of us, I think I curse the most usually.
I usually curse if I get. I
Nah,
don't usually curse usually until I get into very heated debates with DC and Batman.
Okay. Hmm.
I mean the two that I would be the most concerned about, as much as I love them, would be Senior Nerd and Anthony Beltry, because I know they like to. As much as I love them, you gotta watch what they say.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
Droga
I don't
too.
think
Oh,
Anthony.
Jarbo though probably has the.
Jarbo too. Yeah.
Jarbo's got like the worst mouth out of
Well,
anyone.
Jarbo has to be careful with his channel because he has a lot of subscribers, right? He's like most of other community is the most of us, so he has to really be careful with his channel. All right, is that it?
Yeah, I think Anthony curses a lot. I know Anthony, like, he loves cursing.
Okay, I think it's it. Oh,
I
there's everybody in Discord.
I try to watch what I say, but like, well, here's the thing: at work I have to watch what I say, but like after work I my mouth is a potty mouth.
Oh, how close were you swearing yesterday night to a specific, troublemaker?
Yo, how close was I to to Curse Tuesday night?
Yeah. Because you didn't swear at all, but you were. I could tell you were getting frustrated, really, really frustrated, angry.
Yeah, yo, my voice is still shot from that.
Oh,
like
is
here's the thing.
that the
Here's the
one with
thing.
Andrew?
Oh no, I don't know. Don't mention his name. Let's not mention any names. But yeah, no, literally. Listen. Like my kids at work, it's been difficult like these last couple of weeks. But you know what? I love them to death, and it's like I can never be frustrated or angry with them. But uh, like I was literally about to lose my patience. Like that was a test of my patience.
Just a minute.
Yeah.
I like took a picture of like everything in that chat, like, because I wanted to show because I want to show my supervisor. My supervisor was pissed. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he was annoyed.
Okay. Andrew got
Wait,
you.
what? Oh, dude, what? How does he have the power to do that, Blind Braille? That's
Did you
not
make
like,
him a mod?
no.
No,
Please.
how you usually can do that is, even if you're not a mod, there is an option either on computer or phone. You can block people on other people's channel.
That's so stupid. That's not fair.
It's no matter what channel you're on. That's how you
Wow.
you could do that on YouTube.
What did you say, Blind Bro, that pissed him
He
off?
didn't even. That's the thing. He didn't even say anything.
Yeah, you can block anyone on YouTube.
Blind Braille, I'm sorry that happened, by the way. Especially because like you're awesome. Like when you're on my channel, both in the chat and on my channel. Yeah, no, that's gonna be taken care of like in the future regarding that individual. Like I'm appointing more mods. I'm like, this ain't happening again.
Okay,
Is there
yeah.
a way? Is there like a way to unblock him?
Yeah, you can block Blind Bro, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
But
because I love having him in my chat. Like because like
you just go on I think YouTube settings or like manage YouTube, and I think you go to the settings and it shows the people that are blocked.
Yeah, you could, yeah, it's basically what Arkham said. There's,
Yo, what's up?
yeah.
oh,
Blind Bro,
What
I
did-
had no idea that happened, so I apologize.
No, it's,
what did you say? They said him
Like
off?
that's what I mean. He didn't say anything.
I don't know. I don't know what I said, but I only realized one in that last stream because you were highlighting his comment, and I couldn't see his comment in the stream. So I'm like, oh, he probably blocked me. I don't know what I said to him, but I'm not gonna give him the benefit of doubt anymore. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry that happened. Like I said, like that's like that was ridiculous. How that what happened?
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think he's blocking everybody in that
well,
stream.
You know
He-
what? Like
He, on George's stream, he's like getting pissed off with the impersonators.
Oh yeah.
He was like, this is like,
he's getting annoyed at me, and I don't know what I did.
it was fun as hell. I like messing with the impersonators.
He blocked
man.
me too.
Oh, really?
He blocked you too, Jesus.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I was cool with him, but I don't know what I said. It must have been like another stream.
2 names: Michael Keaton, Tobey Maguire.
Oh yeah, like
I never mentioned any of those, so I have no clue.
I do piss him off a lot because I said comic book Batman's better than better than Michael Keaton Batman. It's kind of true because comic book Batman is better.
I mean, well, he's
yeah.
the definitive one.
Yeah.
All comic book characters are definitive ones, right?
Yeah.
Well, unless you're some people on Twitter. Some people on Twitter, they're just.
Are you
I
talking
have
about?
no clue.
Are you talking about a specific fandom?
No, I mean just like in general, I've seen a lot
Oh.
of people say, like today, there's this one chick on YouTube, Twitter. I won't mention her name, but like I keep seeing, I do not follow her, and I keep seeing her on Twitter, and she has the worst takes on DC Comics, like
Wait a minute.
just the absolute worst.
You're in the private chat. I might know what you're talking about. I won't mention
I'll put it in. I just don't want to mention it. I mean, I'm not. I can mention it. I'll just say it. It was what was it? Goddess of War or something.
Goddess
You
of
guys seen that
War.
account? Yeah. A
Oh,
lot of people they well, we don't have to say it here, but I'll tell you behind the stage what they do with her. It's a little bit
the
weird.
Wonder Woman profile.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, she just has some of the I'm sorry, but just the dumbest takes about DC. It's just like
Yeah, I agree.
I don't block people but like I just want to mute that account.
You can mute
It's
it.
not
like-
blocking.
Yeah, it's just annoying. Like when people show up on your timeline and you don't follow them, I'm like
It's actually
it's got to be for information or
It's-
like I just don't care.
It's like a
better-
lot of Snyder accounts. That's a lot of
I
Snyder.
will
better
say
Yeah.
It's better to mute than block actually because
mute doesn't help
People-
that much either because say you follow like a person you're following someone else that's not associated with that person and say that person comments on that post that you mute, then you're still gonna see it.
I not necessarily. I don't think so. I haven't. Well, I haven't
You'll
muted.
you'll see what will happen is like on Twitter, it's like it will show because I have muted words on Twitter. Like I've muted anything with Snyderverse because I'm fucking annoyed with it.
Work. Muted word.
So every time the word shows up, it will say that you muted this tweet. Right. And then when I click on it, then I see, okay, it's because they mentioned Snyderverse. Because I blocked all those words because I'm sick and
If
tired
you
of all these
click on,
people
if
on
you
my
click
feed.
on it, you'll see the word.
Yes.
Click on it. Don't click on. But I'm saying because if you mute, it's actually in my case, if you mute someone, it's actually better than blocking because block will actually people that are blocked will actually kind of know.
Yeah, they'll know.
Yeah.
It's just yeah. I mean, I would only block someone if they're being a nuisance. Like actually, like
Like all this night.
they're just saying no. I wouldn't block those people. Like unless they said something like they threatened me or like they were in my DMs, I would block them. But like I don't block somebody because I disagree with them or they disagree with me. They got to do something that's vile, in my opinion.
Vile, like what do you mean?
They got it. Well, like I said, because I've gotten threats from Snyderverse fans. I'm not. I like. It's really weird that they would send me death threats because I just don't like the Snyderverse, but that's what they did. So I had to block
It's
some
like,
of those people. Those are just like random accounts.
I've been called the Killjoy by Snyder fans.
No, one. I don't know if this was a guy or a girl, but they said they
Doesn't
wanted
matter.
to stomp me out. So I mean, they can go ahead and try, but
Oh, I know you. I know you. You know training. I know you know combat, boxing. Didn't you box? You know boxing, right?
yeah. I mean, but you could try if you want to. That's all I'm gonna say.
Don't pick on the Canadian man. A Canadian will like.
Well, don't threaten people over comic book movies. Like, be a civil person. It's just ridiculous. Like,
I do agree with that. Like,
What do you mean this is garbage, Marcus? What the hell are you talking about? We're not even talking about the topic yet.
this is good.
he
Oh,
he
boy.
does hate.
I
the
can't
Batman.
wait for the next time Marcus is in my chat.
If the people don't
Oh,
understand
boy.
Matt Reeves understands Batman, okay?
He understands it better than most directors have.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad he said that comment he did yesterday.
Okay.
He
Let's
does
get-
have the most positive like a lot of people like his interpretation of Batman. Reeves, what he's done.
Yes. I mean, some people don't, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, this is a different interpretation of Batman.
I would say there's more
It's-
positive than negative towards his interpretation.
Yeah.
The problem.
I mean, it made like 700 million at the box office.
770 million.
Yeah.
I think that's more than what Batman Begins made.
Yes.
Yeah, which is a good sign. I mean, if we're going off of like the first movie, I mean, I know a lot of people thought it would make $1 billion or should have probably even made 900, but I mean, it's a reboot of Batman and all this stuff with DC, so it makes sense the amount it made.
So he says we're deep into writing it, so they're like getting. So it's almost at the finish line, basically. Almost. Yeah. Massive Tom. Yeah. Yeah, he's the same writer for the first movie. Obviously, we get the same writer, right? Like that makes sense.
I mean, I'm a little Matt Reeves. Did Matt Reeves co-write the Batman? I'm trying to remember, or was it that other
Mhm.
guy? Because I think if there's one flaw of the Batman, in my opinion, it is the script. I think there's a point in the movie where it starts to get really convoluted, and it feels like it shouldn't be. Like the movie's almost 3 hours long, and just to explain the whole twist in exposition to me, I think that's like the only problem I have with the movie in general is that twist.
So yeah. Oh, Matt. Yeah, he's
Yeah, Matson, that's a
Oh, it's
screenwriter.
actually yes.
I do hope in the second movie they introduce Robin, like because
That's what I hope.
because the first movie takes uh the second year
Why?
of Batman.
Why was
So
there? Why was there stupid rumors out there? Why did I see Eddie post a short on his YouTube channel that about Batman 2 and Joker being canceled? Like, what the hell is that?
what?
Mm, I have
Cancel?
no clue what that is. I haven't heard that rumor. There's other DC
Oh,
rumors going
I
around,
watched the
but
video. He was basically explaining that like some people thought that the Batman 2 was
Checking it.
canceled because there was no
Yeah.
updates on it, and it proved people wrong. That was basically the video that Eddie put.
I mean, well, why would anybody think? I never understand why people
Oh, they're already
always put
filming
out stuff like
Joker
this.
too. Yeah.
I,
Thank you, Marcus. I saw it. It's nice what you showed me. It's nice. Uh, and he did say that the Penguin will tie into the movie. Obviously, like I mean, he's stating the obvious there, but of course it was tied into the movie.
Hmm.
I think all the Batman shows need to tie into eventually the movie. I mean, that's what
yeah,
Marvel's doing basically. All the shows are going to tie in eventually into the movies because all the characters are going to end up in a movie. I mean,
Hmm.
eventually. So like that's nothing like surprising there. He did say comparing to the other Batmans, specifically Christopher Nolan's Batman, Bruce Wayne, that he's more developed Bruce Wayne more than Nolan because he said in an interview that the Nolan focused more on the villain more than the Bruce Wayne slash Batman. Where Christopher Reeves wants to focus on not Christopher Reeves. Oh my god,
Matt Reeves.
Matt Reeves wants to focus on the growth of Bruce Wayne slash Batman, and
Hmm.
also the growth for villains. But he's saying basically he said that he felt like the Nolan movies were, especially the last two movies, were more about the villains,
yeah,
Yeah.
right? Like no, like Joker was a standout. I mean, Bane wasn't a standout, but there was a lot of focus on Bane. But the Joker, especially Dark Knight, it was mostly about Joker and Two Face, and not a lot of development about Bruce Wayne, right? Like
Hmm.
Bruce and like yeah, he wants to focus. Look, of course it makes sense. Based on this movie, you have to continue the development of Bruce Wayne and Batman.
Hmm.
oh yeah, they're having
Yes,
a meeting.
yes, they're having a meeting. Yes, they are.
Maybe Bonnie Bro is right that it might tie in the DC.
It's
I wouldn't be surprised if he said James Gunn was like, listen, Robert Pattinson is going to be our DC Batman.
Yeah.
And I think I would be fine with that if Matt Reeves is okay and Matt Reeves agrees with the decision
if it makes
and they
sense.
both come with the decision it will be in the DCU, I would be fine with it.
Here's the thing. It's kind of it almost sounds like Sony slash MCU with Spider Man, and I know those are two different companies,
Yeah.
and Warner Brothers is one company, right? But there's two different people developing, like James Gunn, Saffron, and then Matt Reeves. It's like, oh, instead of having our own Batman, we want your Batman in here. We're the MCU and MCU and Sony. They want Tom Holland Spider Man. They can't even get their own Spider Man for their own Spider universe.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
like at least with Warner Brothers, they don't have that problem where they have two different. They have another company to right? I mean, there's more in house instead of out of house because of just it's like
I don't think I have an issue with it. Like the only thing that they would have to do, I guess, with Robert's Batman is make him more fantastical because the DCU is more comic book. The DCU
Look,
be more comic.
look. Sorry to cut you off. Degrassi. I like Degrassi's comment.
Batman in DC, but no DCU in the Batman.
This is exactly what is going to happen. I'm telling you. Degrassi, it keeps saying it too. It makes so much sense. I mean, this is literally how Batman somewhat operates in his own comics. Is like rarely you will see the Justice League crossover with a Batman comic. It does happen. We all know examples, right?
Usually his lore, like
It's usually just Batman. It's just a straight up
It
Batman
depends on the
story.
comic.
or his family, like the Bat family. If we
But
get
most writers, if they sign up to be on Batman, most of their story is just going to be straight up Batman. There's a lot of writers who they don't even cross over with the Justice League. It's just a straight Batman story.
I had no problem with that. I mean,
It also depends on the story what they're telling because, like, say Failsafe, say for example, Failsafe was a villain based on
they're not gonna do
Batman Zero, where he made a contingency bot that defeats Batman and the
Oh,
Justice
But that story could work. Yeah, but failsafe could also work. I'm not saying they would do failsafe, but like let's just do this as a thought experiment. Failsafe you could still do that as just a Batman story because it's not entirely hingent upon the Justice League. Like most of the story is still about Batman. That's what I mean. Like there's not really a lot of stories out there where it's like, no, the Justice League is fundamental to this story that involves Batman.
Failsafe, they made him so OP in the comics.
Well, that's his whole purpose.
Yeah,
his whole purpose is that.
His whole purpose was to take down Batman if he ever went rogue, and that this was created by another personality of Batman called Batman Zero, and
yeah, which is kind of like a.
This Batman really need a failsafe to take if he goes rogue. I mean, Superman could just burst in the Batcave and like get him arrested, basically.
But I mean, failsafe does. I mean, as a story premise wise, it makes sense. Yeah, because because the thing is, like Batman. If you're gonna say failsafe is OP, then we would say Batman is also OP. It's
exactly.
Just that failsafe is.
You know, blind barrel. To some people, Batman is considered OP.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of writers do write him as OP, despite him having no powers and just.
I think somebody said Amanda Waller once said in the comics, Batman is literally a metahuman.
Yeah, Batman, it's more of his intellect that makes him very overpowered, depending on who's writing. And a lot of people kind of don't like that because they feel like Batman shouldn't one-shot somebody in like his first encounter, especially if he doesn't know them. It doesn't really make sense because it's like, well, he's not that smart. Like that would require him to
it's like
be a robot at that point.
I don't want him to do that in the movies where or when they have. I don't want him to do it in the movies when they'll make him like overpowered in the movies. Like they don't make him like in the Arkham games. We always have to win a boss fight, obviously.
Yeah,
it's a game. Obviously, but
I do feel like some people are like, yes, they do sometimes overpower Batman sometimes in a certain comic. Like in a Justice League comic, you kind of do have to sometimes make Batman more towards that Justice League level. But like in his own comics, like the one thing that I do like about Failsafe is it's basically Batman that doesn't hold back. Like it's basically that
he's essentially Ultron. That's what it really is.
Kind
of worse than Ultron, in my opinion.
Yeah, he like in the comic he stabbed Superman 2 times.
I thought Brother Eye is more like Ultron.
Well, I mean, the way that fail-safe operates is pretty much like Ultron, in my opinion. Like
Yeah.
he's like the thing is like he's totally indestructible
Yeah.
and he's just like straightforward. Like there's really no stopping him. And like at the ending of that arc, the only way Batman gets to stop him is he kind of like fake kills him,
Is
right?
it-
Like he tries to get failsafe kills Batman, but doesn't know he's still
Is
alive.
it feel safe
So-
not canon though? Isn't that an
No, it's
Elseworld?
canon. That's
It's
not an
canon.
Elseworld story. That's in the main continuity.
This is
Oh.
the main continuity that came out with the new writer. What's his name?
Chip Zdarsky.
Yeah, like I'm liking what he's gonna do, and I think they're still continuing what happens. He's still alive and he's in Crime Alley.
Yeah.
Obviously,
So they have to
they're gonna-
continue from that part.
They're gonna win in the end. Batman's gonna win in the end. He's gonna find a way. I mean, he should have a contingency plan for fail safe.
Well, I think the next arc is something to do with the multiverse, but then they still have to do because they introduced that idea that and this is the thing they introduced that I'm like I have mixed feelings about this because this is very similar to Moon Knight where apparently Batman has a alter ego like besides Batman, like we're talking about his physical psyche. That is that I'm totally blanking on the. Can you say the name again, Arkham? Because I never know how to pronounce it. It starts with a Z.
Zora?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Grant Morrison's used this character. Like this is a character that was like
There was a
I'm
character.
pretty sure he's from the Silver Age. I don't think he's from the Golden Age. I think he's from
Yeah,
the
he's
Silver
he's
Age.
before.
from the Silver Age. Like the reason why you haven't seen Zoro is because he locked himself away into the mind. He only
Well, this is like a kind of a retcon because that's not how, from my understanding, that's not what the character was originally. Like this is like a new take on him.
yeah, like
There we go. Yeah, I remember this character.
yeah,
Yeah,
Zoro.
Yeah, like everybody knows the costume. Like you've seen the
Yeah,
costume.
that
It's like
costume was
purple
badass.
and orange.
It was pretty cool. But like, I'm kind of okay with it because like he did lock him. Like, I think it's an interesting. Like, it's not like they're doing full Moon Knight, but you do have this different version of Batman in.
Well, I mean, right now in the Moon Knight comics, that's like almost identical to what's going on. Like Mark Spector has locked away his personalities, so now he's just Mark Spector and Moon Knight.
He's okay.
Ah.
Batman is really Two-Face. Okay.
It's not necessarily Two-Face. It's more like Mark Spector. It's more like Moon Knight, where it's like it's almost an entirely a different personality that takes over when he has like some problem or something. So it's like deep buried in his psyche, and
Yeah.
so he has to like go into this room and kind of almost meditate in order to bring him out.
I
So,
saw
and-
this toy. Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw it in the store.
but I'm
Action
but
figure.
I think it was like that is a valid criticism, but like I am excited what he's gonna be going forward with.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna appear, right? So I'm not gonna like go super harsh on the criticism on it, but I just feel like it is very similar to Moon
Well,
Knight.
let's be
Yeah,
honest.
I agree. Like that is very
Fail safe
similar.
is not someone they're going to use. Matt Reeves is not going to use fail safe. He's going to use a
No,
popper.
No, I don't think so.
Well, I think Matt Reeves is going to use characters that they're
I mean,
well known. People know them. Like he's obviously going to use the Joker,
He's going to use a
right.
Joker, but yeah, of course.
but I
Well,
think
we
he's
saw that.
going to have to. He like Mr. Freeze. Like I know a lot of people like say, oh, they should do Mr. Freeze, but like I think going forward, Mr. Freeze will probably be a candidate just because he's a character that is well known, but he's not been reinvented. Like
Wasn't
he needs
it,
kind of a
kind of
Yeah.
rumored with the Batman 2 that the candidates for the villain, I think the main villain was Clayface, Scarecrow, and Hush.
No, there was the shows. There was movement
Oh,
shows
those are show. Okay.
or movies, stuff like that. And that-
well, they did talk about Scarecrow being in his own solo movie that's connected with the Matt Reeves movies, but
Okay.
I think that's a bad
Yeah.
idea. I don't think Scarecrow could carry a solo movie. I mean,
I thought Joker could carry a solo movie. I still can't really see that, but
but
I mean, we
Joker,
got it.
Joker is a lot more interesting character than Scarecrow. And I can see. Yeah, but the thing with Joker, they had to make up all this stuff for the Joker because like Joker, we don't really know what the Joker is. So like, who the hell is the
Yeah.
Joker really? We don't really know his name. We don't know really anything about him. All we know is that the reason he become the Joker is all this
Oh,
bad
we
stuff
actually do
happened to
know
him.
his name.
And,
Yeah,
well,
now we know his name, but
I think it's a mistake.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've kind of I have mixed feelings about this whole Joker thing because I feel like the thing is Joker does have a definitive origin story. Everybody knows it. It's just that over time it's sort of been like,
Changed a little
well,
bit.
did that thing really happen? And the thing is, it kind of just doesn't.
Um,
I think some writers do a good job. Like I think Scott Snyder probably did the best job out of everybody of like, oh, is was Joker really the Red Hood leader, right? Because then there's like, oh, that actually might come up later on, right? Like it's a mystery that could eventually catch up with Batman, and then it's revealed it's somebody else, or like that
It
person
was
didn't go away.
revealed. Was I think it was it was I think it was revealed in the Three Jokers. I think the Three Jokers canon. Right?
Okay. Well, yeah, I think it is. I never read that story.
That's a
I
weird story, the Three Jokers, because I was like, I like the, I know I did like the Killing Joke kind of story. I mean, that's not a defend origin, but now
was the hold on, I'm trying to remember because I remember the beginning part. Wasn't there like some shark, and then there was like they brought back that like Robin version of the Joker. Was that part of the story?
The Killing Joke is
Three
where
Not the
Jokers,
Killing Joke. The Three Jokers.
clown, the
oh, the,
comedian, and the criminal.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, in the beginning, but they bring back this character. I remember that's like an obscure version of like Robin. It's like the Robin. It's like Joker's version of the Robin.
He has no he does. Which one has it?
Someone's got because this character came up and I'm pretty sure it was in the Three Jokers. And who writes the Three Jokers? Is it who I think it is?
Jeff
Because
Johns.
if it is,
Yeah.
I'm not reading that. No.
And it's been revealed in Three Jokers that Batman and Joker know each other all along.
I stopped reading anything with Jeff Johns after Doomsday. Was it Doomsday Clock?
And Joker, instead of Joker being like a good husband, desperate to try and support his wife and pregnant kid that he thought died, he was apparently like abusive and stuff like that to his wife because his wife and kids actually really in the Three Jokers is really alive. They're just like in witness protection or hiding from him. That's the police. Like he didn't like how they stay. In the Killing Jokers, apparently that they died in a fire in the building. Apparently that was all staged, and they didn't when they died, so the police could get them
Oh
out.
God!
And to me, that ruins the whole idea of having a bad day turning this man into the Joker.
That sounds exactly like something Jeff Johns would do. It sounds terrible.
Because it ruins everything about the Joker, turning into the Joker.
It's not even that it's ruins the Joker. It's just convoluted.
Yes.
Like it doesn't even make sense.
But
And that's my problem with the Doomsday Clock or whatever it's called, because that whole story is like this feels so ham-fisty, and that's what he likes to do. He likes to take continuity and then like stretch it and then fill in the gaps. It's like you didn't need to fill in the gaps. Like the gaps are already filled. Now you're just making it way too. Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of was it Flashpoint
Beyond?
Yeah, Beyond.
Oh,
I like the one I didn't like how they turned. Flashpoint is like recreated and whatever. I didn't like how they made Batman the villain.
They made Thomas Wayne.
No, they made Thomas Wayne the villain.
No, not Thomas.
No, they made Bruce Wayne the villain. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne the villain, messing with the Omniverse and recreating Flashpoint and everything, pulling strings. Then you had Rip Hunter and everything like that. It's like I hated it because like it wouldn't be something Batman would do.
In my opinion, Jeff Johns, when a writer gets stale, you just go to the other company. Just go write for Marvel. Like he hasn't written for Marvel in quite some time. Go do that because his whole DC stuff is terrible in my opinion. It's the worst of DC.
He doesn't even do
Green Lantern stuff is
They
good, though.
stopped
That's
letting
it.
him do those big crisis events. He doesn't even do them anymore.
I mean,
But anytime he does, even when he goes off and he does something that's like, uh, I mean, I don't really like Batman Earth One, to be
Yeah, I
honest.
don't like it either. It's too
So
grounded and everything.
he did do
like that.
Blackest
it's just
Night, didn't
weird.
he?
Yeah, but that's almost like what 15? How many years ago at this point? That was
2009,
like in the
2008.
late 2000. Yeah, in the
You
late 2000s.
and Blindon, you probably get hate. What was it called? They did. He's writing Justice Society of America book that he killed off Power Girl in the first issue.
Yes, he
No
did.
boy.
I remember that.
That's why.
I mean, like again, like why would he go back and do JSA anyway? It just seems like you already did that. Like
Yeah,
go do something
yeah.
else. Like
I don't
I
know.
don't understand.
I to be honest, I don't like. You have a lot, in my opinion. He was good before, but I don't. You have a lot of writers better than him now. Like you have this failsafe story. You have these other stories that are so much better. Even like with Dark Crisis, I like Dark Crisis better than what I read with um Flashpoint Beyond, because like I just I just don't understand why do Flashpoint again too? Like there's no point.
Because the
Oh
comics
Jesus!
too.
Are you serious? Hold on. Degrassi's comment.
Yeah,
Oh gee.
that's what comics
He
do.
he needs to move on. It's like Bendis. Like Bendis, when he was at Marvel, he got super stale. He was doing the exact same stuff over and over
Spider-Man.
again. And yeah, it was Spider Man and Civil War Two was like the thing where I'm like I'm done
Civil
reading
War 2
Bendis.
was bad.
Civil
Oh,
War Two was god awful. And so
that ruined Captain Marvel.
like I just don't understand. Like Chip Zdarsky was at Marvel and he went over to DC. I get like Jeff Johns is in bed with DC to the point where he's like super attached to Warner Brothers, right? But like at this point in his career, in my opinion, like he's not doing the movie stuff. Supergirl is it's not Supergirl, Stargirl is now done. You know what I mean? Like they're not coming back with a fourth season.
Yeah.
Just you know what I mean? Like you probably know people at Marvel. People know you know what I mean? Go write for Marvel. Because Marvel right now, in my opinion, there's like 3 writers that is like holding up Marvel right now. And they're probably eventually gonna like I could see Donny Cates just jumping over to DC. He's eventually gonna write for DC, and you know I know the guy who's writing Moon Knight. People like him and what he's doing, but he's kind of like he's kind of new to Marvel, so he's probably gonna stay around for quite some time. But
I don't think that's correct that he's the architect of Dawn of DC, because there's nothing about it. I don't see it.
He's probably gonna have. He's probably talked with Gunn and Safran about, because he probably knows some of their plans too. I bet you like.
Where does it say he's the chief architect of Dawn of DC? Because I looked at it.
He's got to have some new position at DC. I don't know what his current position is, but
hey George, you've been quiet.
Yeah, no, sorry, yeah, no, but yeah, no, he's probably gonna have some say.
Yeah.
Like I do think the Dawn of DC event is gonna be good, but I just don't think Jeff John doesn't do that because you see a lot of writers better than him. You see the even the events, and you don't see Jeff Johns do that much anymore. I don't even know why they still keep him if they don't involve him that much anymore.
Just because of the name. I mean, and he's probably going to write something. He's like, he's going to like eventually do something. You know what I mean? Like, I just think, you know, like.
Well, this is it. He's going to be involved in Green Lantern because that's part of it.
Probably.
Yeah,
I don't even really want him to be involved with the live action Green Lantern.
I mean, wasn't he involved in that 2011 train wreck?
I mean, the thing is,
Yeah.
he's always going to be somewhat involved because he's the most like recent influence on the character. I feel like Green on the characters, I should say, right? So it's like, and that whole universe and world building. Jeff Johns really did a lot of world building for Green Lantern, and to be honest, I don't even know how they're going to even adapt Green Lantern. If it's going to be a show, if it's going to be a movie. I think like I know they're trying to push him to be like kind of almost like an Aquaman or a Flash character, but I don't know. I don't know what's really going to happen with Green Lantern. I don't even really think the character will be like super successful. Like if I'm being 100% honest, or all the characters.
Yeah.
That's just my take. That might be a hot take, and I like Green Lantern, but like after that in the 2011 movie, something about Green Lantern. I don't know how that's gonna work in live action. I know Miss Marvel has a very they made Miss Marvel look like Green Lantern a little bit.
yes, kind of.
Right. So, but I still don't know.
Because they used different powers, or yeah, she didn't have the stretchy. Yeah. Like there's a lot of problems with that. People have issues with that, but oh well, like this could be a Batman. Like we're getting Arkham series. I know Degrassi's been saying Hugo Strange. I wonder who the perfect actor would be for Hugo Strange. I want somebody that's could be played bald. Is kind of bulky, not bulky, kind of like a Jack Black kind of size shape kind of guy, but Hugo Strange. You know what I mean? They fit the character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, they should get Jonah Hill. I mean, Jonah Hill was supposed to be Penguin, right? That was supposed to be before Colin Farrell. Wasn't Jonah Hill?
Well, I think he was. I don't know if he was supposed to be Penguin.
He was supposed to be the movie.
I think he was supposed to be Riddler. I'm not too
that's
sure.
what I thought. He was supposed to be Riddler.
I mean, it would have made sense if he was Riddler. I can't really see him as Penguin, to be honest.
No.
He's not really in that
I
range, right?
do think in the Arkham series that they might introduce she's in, I think she's in the comics also. What was her name? You know, from the Arkham Asylum, I think Dr. Young and stuff like that. They might,
Yeah.
they might introduce
that doctor.
You mean they're
involved in the Bane thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Introduce Warren Sharp too.
I mean, all of that would help flesh out the world building, even though they're not like super important characters.
Yeah, like even though that she's canon and stuff like that now.
Hugo Strange, I definitely will see it. Hugo Strange, because the psyche of Batman. He's fascinated how this man puts on a costume and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to become Batman himself, really. Like that's the perception is, right?
Yeah, he the character in the Halloween movies, or he might be in the second one. You know he's the guy that's hunting down Michael Myers.
The psychiatrist,
The psychiatrist, yeah.
Loomis.
I don't know, Loomis. Yeah, Loomis.
Yeah, he's been in a few of them, not just the first two.
Yeah, I know he's talking. Yeah, he's been.
If I don't know, I just had an idea where it's like that something kind of like that relationship. Loomis was an interesting character, and they didn't really do much with him. I don't know. I like the idea of like if you like you should have he is Doctor Strange.
He almost said Doctor Strange.
Well, he is Doctor Strange. He's Doctor Hugo Strange. But it's like right. So
he was before Doctor Strange. He's the first Doctor Strange.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, if he would have this relationship where he shows up in a lot of the movies, but he's not. He's kind of more like Amanda Waller. I think I would prefer seeing that than him just be a straight up villain and he's like a one and done and we don't see him again. Like he's kind of there and they have like some dynamic, because it almost feels like the Matt Reeves movies, they want to do something where it's like there's characters that are reoccurring and they show up in more than one movie. Because I feel like the Riddler is going to be, he's going to have like some role, maybe not a massive role, but he might have a cameo in Batman 2. Right. And I feel like that's a,
He might have a cameo.
like
Arkham
he probably will. Yeah, he might. I don't think he's going to have a significant role, but
What
I mean, they need to find ways like that.
what 3 titles, Degrassi? He doesn't say what 3 titles.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe it's just like, maybe he'll say it, or because I don't know.
Up in there, his upcoming.
He's not stop
This
me.
Snyderverse
His
gotta take Jeff Johns.
Like, could you imagine if like DC did like a sequel to the Snyderverse with their comics? You think people would still be flipping out?
These people have this stupid idea. Netflix is
Well, they wouldn't. I don't even think they would read it. They wouldn't even read it.
Yeah, they'll be like, "This isn't Ben Affleck. This isn't Henry Cavill."
But to be honest, like I think, give it 10 years, I wouldn't be surprised if they revisit the Snyderverse in the comics, because they already are doing that with the the Burton verse and the Christopher Reeves movies, right? So
Batman has their own comic verse too. The two.
You do have some comic nods towards.
Yeah.
Not really the Snyderverse, but like certain designs, like Flashpoint Beyond. You see the BVS, the BVS Batmobile. In Dark Crisis. You see like the armor Batman helmet.
mhm.
But like you'll see nods, but I don't think they're gonna do in the comics. Like I might not be a fan of Batman being the villain, Flashpoint Beyond, but I still think it was a fine story. Fine story. I'm just wondering, what is Jeff Johns gonna spin that off into 3 titles? That's why I'm interested.
Mhm.
That's the one thing.
Yeah, I will. I mean, I really, I told you, I just don't. I really don't like Jeff Johns anymore. So, I mean, I'm really not even gonna check it out even if people praise it. To be honest, I just feel like he's kind of doing a lot of the same. It's not he's doing samey stuff, but he falls into like some of his tropes that I just don't like. I don't like them anymore.
That's
Like
fair. I'm probably just gonna pick it up because, like, I still like Flashpoint Beyond. I gave it 8 out of 10. It's just
Mhm.
I still have that major criticism that I did not like how they turned Bruce Wayne to the bad guy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's so stupid.
Like I think
he
that was
loves Stargirl. Jeff Johns loves Stargirl.
Well, yeah, he created the character.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a
Yeah, of course.
personal character to him. So,
but I might check it out because it's got spin towards the dawn of DC, and I feel like if I don't pick it up, I'm not gonna know what I'm reading.
mhm.
That's the reason why I'm picking up.
So to break the tension a little bit, guys, are you all excited for the Fast and Furious trailer?
That's
Oh man,
oh,
isn't that next month?
Oh my goodness.
I think it's next week.
No, it's
Did-
in
I thought it
February.
was February 10th.
February 10th.
I never knew there was a Fast and Furious.
February
trailer coming
10th?
out.
Yeah.
What
So,
was
like-
released during the football playoff game?
Oh, we finally gonna go into the fast verse, the multiverse of the
Should I
fast.
should I put
Oh.
Brie Larson? Should I put
You know what?
Dom Toretto in another universe that says, "No, I hate my family," and like him and Dom.
Oh man,
Dom
Should I put Brie
Toretto-
Larson in a thumbnail?
that sounds really stupid, but I actually want to see that. Like, I want to actually see a multiverse race movie with the Fast and the Furious, and it's almost like what's that, Speed Racer?
Oh man, Isaac, you gotta do me dirty in the chat, man.
Yeah, Fast in the Future.
But you know
Oh
what?
man,
You know what? I rather deal with Isaac's anti New York City conspiracy theories than
I'm gonna
certain
put- I'm-
behavior.
If I do a review on the trailer, I'm gonna definitely put Brie Larson in it in the thumbnail. I'm doing it. I'm
Oh
doing it.
man,
Yo, put Brie
that's if
Larson
she's in the trailer.
sunglasses.
Yeah, I'll just do it even though she's not in it.
Yeah, just for the bait.
Dude.
Oh, I can
dude.
see it now. I
Have
can see
Brie
it now.
Larson wear sunglasses and be like, take it, anti-SJWs.
They
Yeah.
need to do this though. They do need to do a Fast and the Furious multiverse where they drive through the multiverse and they have some race or some shit.
It'd be hilarious.
You know, I'm surprised. Like, it's a shame that the Dom Toretto memes died around the time No Way Home came out. Because imagine the meme where like Dom Toretto's like, "Hey Peter," and Peter's like, "You remember? You can never forget about family."
Oh, see.
Yo, or like Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, where like Wanda's talking about bringing her kids back. Dom comes out of nowhere saying, "Now hold on, Doc. She just wants to see her family."
Oh man.
They even make fun of it in the Shazam trailer with the Helen Mirren, because Helen Mirren's in the Fast and Furious franchise, and she has a family too. She has 3 kids. So I think that's intentional.
Oh, we're
That's
so.
not
I
intentional.
think
That
this
was not
one-
just, that was just not something they decided to do. Do you know that was intentional, right? That was
Oh
definitely
yeah,
intentional.
that was
Yeah.
family. I'm not gonna lie, I laugh. Like I know there's supposed to be Shazam chart the end of this month.
Yeah, this
Well,
yeah.
yeah. Well, remember again, that was another prediction.
That was your prediction?
Yes. I said it on this stream that everyone was like, it'll come out next month. And I'm like, no, it'll come out the end of this month.
Borderlands stuff.
They announced
Why
it.
Girl mentioned the Borderlands stuff like a week ago, and the next day it came true. I'm pretty convinced they watched
I'm pretty
us.
excited for Shazam 2. I think it's gonna be good. Like I think the story's going to be good. No matter what the box office is, it'll be better than the
I think every story
first
is
one.
good.
I hope it's better than the first
I wanna
one.
know why.
I don't
I want to know
really
why.
have much faith in it.
I want to
But
know why Black Panther got nominated for awards. I think the only comic book movie that got nominated for awards at the Golden was not the Golden Globe, People Choice, People Choice, right? And not Batman. I'm sorry, but Batman stuff was better looking. It was not CGI, not VFX. Some of it was. I'm sorry. I mean,
did Black Panther get nominated for technical awards?
Yeah,
Like what?
but didn't win. No,
Or like what? Was it like VFX? Was it like?
It was a bunch of categories, and I'm like, sorry, but it's not even. I'm sorry, it's not even the best comic book movie of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think I don't know. That's weird. I mean, I wouldn't. I think at this point, it seems like the Batman isn't going to even get a lot of technical awards, even though I think it should.
Yeah,
Sure.
like it used like I think the technology that they use with the Mandalorian and everything like that.
Yeah, the volume.
Million watched awards.
Which I feel like out of the movies that came out last year that used it, I would say the Batman did a better job because it
more real.
Yeah, it looked more realistic, and I mean it looked. They were kind of using the technique like you have to like do a lot of research into like the cinematography of the volume, but like
it was in that category. It was in that category. That's
the cinematography was very. I think no, the guy who does the cinematography for the Batman did the first season of the Mandalorian.
I saw the music list, the list for music, and I'm sorry, but the Batman's theme music was better than some of the music on that list. I'm sorry, I know Rihanna's song was on Black Panther, but I'm like, guys, but that's Rihanna's song. It's not even original for the movie. It's not even original.
Well, it is original for the movie. It is.
But I think the theme at the end of Batman, I think that should have been nominated.
I think they nominated Black Panther because it makes sense. The first one got nominated. It's
But I'm sorry.
You know what's going on.
I think this, but I'm just saying that the soundtrack in the Batman was better than Black Panther.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's better.
I mean, it's more like I'm sure a lot of people can recognize the Batman score.
It's better. It's better.
Black Panther.
It's better than the thing is. I think
some people don't like the score of the Batman for some reason.
But it makes
Yeah,
but,
I know.
but you know what? That score to Batman sets the tone and the theme of the Batman character, like in the story what it's trying to tell. As you
Yeah.
notice, the ending theme was changed a little bit for just the ending because there was the same song that was different, but they
Mhm.
changed it for the ending. I just, I was, but you know what? The Batman theme is better than most Marvel themes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would agree. I would agree.
It's a Batman theme. People
Yeah.
say like it reminds them of Imperial March. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, the Imperial March theme from Star Wars. It does sound like that.
Michael
It
Giacchino's
reminds me the
What do you say,
theme.
George?
It's Michael Giacchino's best superhero score.
Yes.
Like he's
Yeah.
done a lot of superhero movies, and he usually does well with them. But I think the Batman was probably his most iconic.
He probably started off fairly early in the Batman. Yeah, yes, this is another thing too. Yes, the sound design of the Batman is extremely good. Like, I just I don't understand. Like,
I
especially that whole, especially the, I mean, obviously the scene with the chase car sequence. Even when it all just boots up, that whole scene, like it's just like pure sound when he first starts off, right? And it's supposed to be like it's supposed to be very intimidating.
I'm sorry, but I think that car chase scene better than Affleck's.
Yeah,
Yeah, that a lot of people dunk on that scene just because you probably kill people, but like
No, he didn't.
no one is yeah. First off, one, it's not even clear if he's killed people, right? In that scene, and he probably didn't. Like, but
actually
like
did
just
that.
the editing and the VFX, because that scene is like probably one of the best car chase sequences in recent memory. Like,
Yeah.
it's that good.
You know what's
I
the
really
best
like
part?
it. It kind of gives me with the engine and everything like that. It
Yeah.
does give me some animated series vibes with the
We
Batmobile.
have to admit it's pretty campy. This penguin just stood there for like 2 minutes.
Hmm.
Like,
Like
oh, who's setting up the engine while he's setting up the car? You know,
the
penguin
But the
just.
editing in that sequence too is also some people kind of underrated too,
What
because
made it
it's
great was the ending of that car sequence when Penguin's upside down in
yeah,
his
I
car,
love
and
that.
you see his.
well,
And
that's
you see
like the
him move.
cherry on top. I
Yeah,
mean,
that
like
is.
the whole sequence, the whole when he first started. The only thing I think I would not, that initially when I was first watching it, I didn't get was when when he does a fake out
Yeah, that was
when he starts up the car. I think they should have cut that out because a lot of people in my theater laughed at that scene, at that part, that little when he because it looks like he doesn't know what he's doing, but he does. He did that intentionally. It was there
he
to
wanted to
scare
scare
them,
the guy. He wanted to scare
but
him.
it just didn't work. It just didn't work as the
But,
audience because everybody in the theater. I'm telling you, I watched it in the IMAX screening, and everybody burst out laughing when that
but the,
happened.
but
And
the
that's
cherry on
not what
top,
actually supposed to.
the
It's not supposed
ending.
to be funny.
You saw fear in the Penguin's eyes when he's upside down. Like that's what made it great. That's what made Batman. That's what makes Batman when a criminal has fear like that. That was a great. Like, the ending of that sequence is great.
Yeah, I really like the
Yeah.
car chase scene. And like when people say he killed people on the freaking bridge, it's like I watched
Nah, this
the
is.
movie as much times as I did. Um, I can tell you he didn't. The Penguin is the one that killed the people on the road and everything like that.
It could be also possible no one died.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, but like people are. So technically, even if someone died, it's mostly Penguin that's killing people. So like it has
But
nothing to
like
do.
no one knows for sure. I mean, the way that it's shot, like people are just sort of saying like, oh, the destruction of it all, right? Like there's a ball of flame, there's all these trucks tipping over and stuff. But it's not really clear if people are like, oh, they actually died from it, right? I mean, it's a car accident. People do die from car accidents. I mean, it's super common. But I mean, like,
I mean,
it's a comic book movie. If the director came out and said no one died, we would have to just believe him face
I mean,
value because
but
that's his intention.
But the Penguin received nothing. No bruises, no scratches. There was nothing
Yeah.
on him.
he was like fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, George. I'm like, guys.
I like the
I don't
scene.
know.
I like the scene where they're in Jim Gordon and Batman are interrogating the Penguin. Says, "Open your eyes."
Mm-mm.
That's a great scene. I love that interrogation.
Open your eyes.
Yes, the thing is, why is the Penguin? Why is he? I know he's a mobster, like part of the mob, but he's why is he like an Italian? He's not Italian. Like actually,
I think that's just like his. I think the character's intentionally like over exaggerated because
I
it
like
makes
the-
him like stand out.
Wait, you know what's that? You know what? You know what? It sounds like a giant freaking bat.
I like how
Yeah.
they handcuff him to the building and leave him behind.
Oh yeah, and he starts wobbling. Yeah, they still did it on purpose, right?
But there is a lot of good sequences. I mean, like the beginning, this with the Riddler, and then you have the police compound escape, the
I really
like
the
the
third act.
ending.
I like the third act where he goes against a bunch of the goons and everything like that, and you see like him using all his gadgets and everything.
Yeah, like stuff like that. So
Can you imagine? Mel Gibson.
mm,
Almost
Yeah.
my
I could
for me-
see Lethal Weapon.
What's
a
your
little
favorite
bit.
Degrassi? Which one? Batman 66?
You roasting him? Oh man.
Oh, he's old enough. I think, it's actually, I like that movie actually.
I don't
I've
mind
never
that.
seen that movie. I think I should
Yeah,
watch
kinda-
it.
I kind of do. Jeffrey
I don't-
Wright was in.
I would say I don't hate all Batman movies, but I would say this one's my favorite out of all of them because it's kind of reminds me of the Batman. I would say the Batman that I've always envisioned in live action
Hmm.
when they're introducing the character. Like I'm not dissing any other films. The rest of the films are like Batman '89 is great. Batman Returns, except Batman Robin's trash. No.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even like the Schumacher movies. I can't watch them.
I don't like that either.
I don't mind Forever. Is it? But like,
Yeah, I might.
I
Although,
I meant
can't stand
Returns,
Forever.
Not forever.
although, as Justin Proper would say, I love Batman and I love Robin. There's nothing wrong with that.
The joke is still funny as hell.
I love Lego Batman. The movie was great. I mean, yeah, that's if you want to talk about one of the best Batman movies ever, Lego Batman's there.
Lego Batman is pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is very. It has very funny moments where I think he sings and stuff like that. Remember, he disguises himself and he goes against a bunch of the villains.
I love
Yeah,
Lego
that was
Batman.
funny as hell.
I love Lego Batman, how arrogant and cocky and likes to show off, which is really the opposite of Batman, really, at times. Because even though he might seem arrogant and cocky and stuff, he's not really Batman.
Hmm.
Right?
Well, you would say
I never understood why they never had Lego Batman 2.
It was like some. I think they did have it in development, and then it sort of got canceled. Like they just didn't really see the point of it, and then eventually they lost the rights to the Lego.
Because that movie deserves a sequel. It deserves.
Because I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be like after Lego Movie 2, they were gonna make the Lego Batman 2, and then at that point that movie bombed, so Universal got the rights.
Superman Batman movie.
Still Isaac.
Morbius is the best comic book movie of last year.
Oh God.
Oh my.
See how Isaac reacts to
Oh
that.
God. Isaac, should I trust your opinion when you say New York doesn't exist?
It doesn't exist.
I look at the Lego Batman movie as like Batman Abridged. Like if someone ever made a Batman the Abridged series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Morbius is gonna sweep the Oscars. Okay.
I really can't get into Schumacher Batman. I really can't. Like I don't even mind campy Batman, but Schumacher's Batman I just feel like is just way too stupid.
I mean, Tim Burton's Batman was campy, but more dark campy.
I think the problem with
I really don't mind campy.
I
Yeah.
think the problem with
Morbius gets 50
Forever
Oscars.
is
Grandpa, what?
it's a mixture. It's a mixture. The problem with the movie is you have serious moments, but you also have campy moments as well. So like it doesn't I feel like the movie doesn't know what it kind of wants to be. You don't have one tone, what they don't focus on one tone throughout the whole movie.
I just kind of want to see. I mean, well, he's passed away now, but I mean, like, if back then, let's just say Schumacher made a Batman movie, I would want to see him make something that was in the vein of what Tim Burton was trying to do, because it doesn't really like when you look at his filmography, it's like he has all these movies that are like really dark. Like Falling Down is a really dark movie, right? What's the vampire? I know that one is a little bit more. I mean, it's still a dark movie. What's the one with the vampires?
Lost
With
Boys?
all the kids, Lost Boys. Yeah, right.
I love
So
that
it's
movie.
like, so I mean, like he's more known for that. I feel like that's more of his strength. And then when I know he was like, oh, I love campy Batman and stuff like that, but I don't know. It just doesn't really play to his strengths. So that's why I never really liked those movies. It just felt like he made it. It was like for hire, and it just I just don't like it. Batman Forever in particular.
Yeah, like Batman Forever is like okay. Like I like I think um people underrate. I think Batman Returns. Like I think
Yeah, definitely.
I think Returns is pretty good.
Batman Returns has like the best mood. It has like Michael Keaton at his best, at his like peak. I mean, in my opinion, is better than '89. Yeah, yes. Like I'm like Michael Keaton at his peak in terms of Batman, because he just does a better job at playing Batman in that movie.
It also is a good Christmas movie.
Yo, Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman broke my innocence.
Yes.
Catwoman is
Yes.
surviving that fall. I mean, come on. Like, I know. Okay, this is hilarious. I'll survive that fall.
But like the whole ending sequence with them, and then they're fighting the penguin in the sewers and all that stuff. Like, I like that part. Like, it feels. It really does feel like a Tim Burton movie when you get to that part. I mean,
a Tim Burton movie.
It is like throughout, but I mean, like something about that sequence just is like if it just has the hallmarks of what I expect, just like his direction. I mean, the whole movie is, but I'm just saying that particular sequence always stands out to me. And then the ending too, when she like leaves him, and then she's in the distance and stuff, right?
We see her at the end, yeah. I like Batman '89 Returns. They were great movies. Like, I love the circus, the gang. I don't know. I think I would think that the Joker would hire that gang because it's all like it's kind of the Joker kind of thing, but it's different. Like,
the only criticism I do have about the Tim Burton movies is he kills off the villains. Like that's the one criticism I have. Like I do like the movies are fine, but I don't I thought the movies were gonna be like a long-lasting trilogy where you don't kill off any of the Batman villains and put them in Arkham Asylum and stuff like that.
They don't even have Arkham there.
Oh
Until
yeah.
like Forever. I think Forever had the first Arkham Asylum.
Oh yeah. but that's my only criticism. But
I would say Christopher Walken's character in Batman Returns is an underrated villain.
Max Shrek.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about him. Like,
Bruce Wayne, why are you dressed up like Batman?
He is Batman, you idiot.
Yo, can I just say something? Like, I like Batman Returns, but when he rips off his mask, his neck looks so long.
It does. But he just rips it off. It's not even a cow. He just like rips it off. Like,
yeah.
Because he has the other half behind him on the cover to back. Oh yeah, that's awesome, Degrassi. Yes. Yes, yeah, that'd be hilarious.
Well,
So,
wait. What? Aaron, you know CGH. He wants to see Batman wear trunks. I assume so. Let Batman wear trunks. I love
CJ's
CGH, but he
CJ
loves trunks on his heroes.
CJ likes light comic books, movies
I don't
and
have a
stuff.
problem with it.
No, it wasn't all light. Everything, everything.
What about like?
I don't mind when Batman is a light campy character.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
it's just not done like all that often anymore
No,
because
like
that's not what people see him as.
the trunks. I don't have a problem with. Like, if they introduce the trunks, I don't have a big deal with it because they still have it in the main continuity in comics. So
it's not realistic.
I don't think they would do that with
It's not
Batman. I can
realistic.
see it with Superman.
But we know what's going to happen in the movies or even in the universe James Gunn started for his suit is going to be like upgraded to more like not exactly like Iron Man, but more like technology wise, like in the Arkham games. It's
yeah,
got more padding, more caviar. It's gonna have like
Probably.
yeah, like that, like how it is in Arkham games. Because that was like that suit in the Arkham games, like had like
yeah, like
everything.
There was like armor that moves.
Yeah, I think
it's
that's what's
like
gonna happen.
flexible.
That's gonna.
no,
I think it's
how it went was
gonna have upgrades basically.
yeah, like
Mm.
I wouldn't mind say the first suit is similar to Arkham City or Arkham
Yeah.
Asylum. I
He's not.
wouldn't I
He's not
wouldn't
gonna have
mind
like
that.
he's not
Then
gonna have
he upgrades.
he's not gonna have a suit in the like he has in the Batman animated series. Okay, he's not gonna have that kind of suit.
No, and I think I know this is a meme on Twitter where people always point out the MCU suits, and they're like, "Oh, it's over designed and stuff." I think recently, like the Ant-Man suit to me looks particularly vomit. Like, who designed that? But like people have to understand the reason why they do that is because if you just put the characters like in their
Captain
one to
America,
one
for
costume
example.
on the screen,
Captain
it's
America.
extremely flat. Like you get nothing from it. That's why they textured it because it adds a little bit more depth and then the lighting can catch on to it. It's a lot to do with cinematography
Yeah.
and the way it plays out in reality. I think a lot of people don't understand that. It's like they bring on costume designers who are not just designing to make it look like the comics, but they're also designing it so it makes sense when they're filming it,
I know, I
right?
know, I know. There's a lot of people that issue with Captain America suit because it was more armor-like than it's from the comics, where it's not really armor-like, And I'm like, but this actually fits better for him having armor. Actually fits better, His if remember there was issues about Captain. There was people had issues with Captain America, like fans had issues.
Yeah, I think that had to do with his popularity. Because remember, like
Mm-hmm.
at the beginning when the Avengers came out, people didn't like Captain America. Like Captain America, like they always made fun of his suit in the first
Yeah.
Avengers movie because it is weird looking and it's to me it looks very I think like when people always see like, oh, if you were to translate spandex to screen, even though his suit is not spandex, that's what I envision. It's like it almost looks way too emphasizing his body and stuff. Where you're
I'm
like
sorry.
his later suits look better. It's better texture. It looks a little bit more like he has broad shoulders and stuff. And
I'm sorry,
Captain
but
America.
if Batman had the kind of suit had to get Batman 66 or the Batman animated series in these movies, he gets killed so easily. Like done with. That's why you need an armor suit. Like it doesn't make sense.
I mean it doesn't make sense in reality. I just think that it really, to be honest, they only really add armoring because it just looks better. Like it's a comic book movie. I don't think like it really matters all that much if they had spandex. It's just that visually speaking, aesthetic wise, you have textured armor or just the layering of the armor itself. Like it looks better. I mean, I have the concept art for the Batman, and it's like they have all these different variations of the suit. Hold on, let me just like pull it
I
up.
know you're talking about the grassy. I know you're pissed off at that fandom. You told me today.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like sometimes, because
Like I think more people need to understand art design and like why they make the suits the way that they do, right?
Yeah, it might not translate very well to live action.
Yeah, like what you see on the book doesn't look exactly good on the screen. Like
No, yeah.
But if they're gonna do if we're gonna get a new bat suit, I would like to see them use the Rebirth suit. I like the Rebirth suit. I think that would be cool.
Mm.
Or or do the classic Batman look. Or because you have say if they don't have Pattinson in the DCU.
no, this is gonna happen.
I'm just saying, what if scenario? If they don't, and you have a new actor that does Batman in the DCU, I would like the color. I think because you have Pattinson, gray and black. I think it would be cool. Maybe do blue and gray in the DCU.
I think.
Yeah, I think the blue and gray would be nice.
Like you have to like. Maybe something similar to, what was it? Give me a second. I think.
I do want to see Batman knock out Guy Gardner on the big screen. That'd be awesome.
I want to see Gardner. That's the character I definitely want to see.
Oh look!
Oh boy.
Hey, welcome to the show, bots.
The bots finally showed up.
You got anything interesting to say?
Nope. It's just a bunch of stupid emojis.
Here, this one. Sure.
Another reason why I need more mods because of the corn bots.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously for obvious reasons, but also the corn bots are starting to get annoying as well.
Let's see.
Yeah, they show up all the time.
Do this correctly.
I gotta check my phone.
Yeah, this one. I think like if you do the texture correctly with the blue and gray suit, I think it'll look pretty cool.
Yeah, if it's more, I know on the Ben Affleck, the 2017 Justice League, they like saturated the poster and made it look bluish, but they really need to make it like blue from the start.
I still didn't like the suit too, so like.
Yeah, I don't like I don't like Ben Affleck's suit. I think it's so, to me, it makes his face look really puffy, and it's like I don't know who designed it. It's a really bad design because Ben Affleck is like a really tall, broad person, so it's like, and he doesn't have like a super sharp jawline, right? He's very like, it's kind of boxy but a little bit round. So it's like, why would you put like this, like something under his neck, and then it just looks really bad. Like I don't know who designed it, and then he looks way too big. That's another thing.
You're gonna get attacked for that, Blind Brill, for saying bad stuff about Ben Affleck.
Oh boy.
No, I like Ben Affleck. Here's the thing. I think Ben Affleck, out of all the people who've been cast as Batman, he had the most potential just because he is like more of the ideal type. Like when you see like the Arkham games or like the animated series, that's like how I envision Ben Affleck's Batman, right? But they didn't do that. They did not do that.
You know what? I thought his appearance was kind of based upon that, like an Arkham.
It's more the Dark Knight Returns. In the Dark Knight Returns, he's really bulky. It makes no sense. I know everyone's an old bulky Batman, but it's like you look at him and you're like, okay, they put way too much padding, right? He's already big, right? Don't put all this padding. Just put the armor on him. That makes more sense. Don't make it look like, oh, he's got all these muscles. Because Batman, to me, like, why would he be like big, like almost like a strong lifter? It makes no sense. Like he's supposed to be agile.
He uses stealth. He's
going to be big because he's, I mean, the actor too. Some of these actors, a lot of people don't know. Like
it's a comic
Robert Pattinson
right?
is not that. Robert Pattinson's maybe like 6 feet tall.
Everybody in the comic, they do that in the comics. They make these larger life characters, humans, look like gods in comics.
Well, yeah. Well, you always have to when they're designing the costume, they play to the actor's body, their
Yeah.
strengths and stuff. Like,
It's
and you
not-
see that in Robert Pattinson's Batman because
It's
they
not-
play to his
It's
jawline.
not. It's not a comparison to the comics. 'Cause
Yeah,
comic-
it's not. You can't compare it to the you. They only. I mean, in this book that I have, right? I'm looking. They take their main inspiration for the suit was they're borrowing a lot from Year One and its design and the mechanics in that comic.
I mean, you
And
see,
then you know,
yes.
yeah.
You see
Sorry.
Batman. You see Batman in the comics. So much muscles. I don't know how many abs, like bunch of abs, so many muscles over them. You can't. It's not realistic it's not realistic. Hey Bianca,
Hello.
how are you doing?
Kind of tired. I was like, it's 11:35 over here. Are you still streaming?
Well, Max is not having a show, and I'm probably end it soon, like in 25 minutes. So,
Yeah, and the Batman's taking off.
and look, I said it's like the comics.
It also depends on how James Gunn wants to structure his DCU, because maybe he doesn't want to be realistic.
Yeah.
And look,
Because
Robert
there is that
Pattinson
possibility.
I mean,
Robert
if you look
Pattinson
at
looks fine.
Who's Arkham Gaming?
Oh, that's Arkham.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. Just Arkham Gaming.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
mean-
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at like James Gunn's like MCU and DCU projects, they're like very colorful. They're very unrealistic.
Hey, yes. Hey, if you want somebody to look exactly like Batman or Superman with all that muscle like from the comics, just get a body weightlifter or something like that, huh?
But it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I know.
I'm telling you, it doesn't make sense. It's like, okay, the reason why they do that in the comics is to emphasize the character's body. Because if they just drew them normally, it wouldn't make sense. But it's like, in real life, that's not how it works, right? Like,
No.
your body type is not like you can have all the muscles in the world. It doesn't mean you're going to be super agile and super quick, right? It's just that's just how physics is. You know what I mean with your body. So it's like you have to design. You have to. I mean, sometimes they don't really consider it. They're more considering the look and their acting, not so much their body. Because I mean, Robert Pattinson is not that big. Robert Pattinson is pretty lean, right? If you look at him, right, he doesn't have wide shoulders. He's not like that built.
No, he's
right?
not. No, he's not.
It's
Doesn't have a
them British
chest. Yeah.
boys.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, I mean, it's not nothing against him, right? Like, I'm not trying to slander him because he still looks nice, right? Like,
I mean,
he's
Christian
got
Simmons-
the like really good features and stuff. But like, that's why they would design a suit that makes it look like he's broad and has like broad shoulders and he's pretty big, and that's what the suit does.
Yeah.
Can't
So
work.
I was coming from this point of view that, like, say James Gunn wants to make, because like how originally the DC EU was created, it was like add that kind of realism and comic booky. But what if, because people came to this hypothesis that there is a possibility, say James Gunn wants to go more comic booky, then
Mhm.
then it wouldn't have to be as realistic.
Yeah, and you also remember, no matter how much muscle Batman put up in BVS, it's still nothing against Superman.
Hmm.
Like,
I mean, like to Arkham's point, I mean, I wouldn't mind if it's comic booky, but I think it's going to be like what we see with the MCU. Like the MCU is like comic booky, but then it also falls into this like gray middle of like grounded and comic booky. That I wouldn't mind, like just in the style of DC.
Yeah,
Okay.
like balance
Yeah,
it
that's fair.
out. Balance it out.
But I do hope they introduce the Reeves.
and also in the comics that they don't do mostly Marvel and DC the movies, they do exploit the sexuality of like the male and female. When you see a lot of the men, the male characters without the shirt on and stuff, or the female, like let's be honest, a lot of female characters in Marvel and DC. What if all one thing in common? Nice ass or big breasts?
No,
Right?
jeez.
Oh my
Isn't that
God.
true? I mean,
it's a male medium. That's why that happens.
they exploit that. Yes, just we talked about
Unfortunately,
Tomb Raider.
yes.
Remember, we talked about Tomb Raider a couple days ago. Same
Well,
thing.
And well, the thing is, yeah, well, Tomb Raider though, it was like a marketing thing. That's where you
Yeah.
saw most of her sexuality, and then in later games. But that's not how she
Yeah.
originally started in her first game. So
Comics completely sucked for females because of the Comics
yes,
Code Authority.
Yes.
Some bull crap. Oh yeah, we can have comics for girls. We can have romance comics for girls. Oh, but you can't have them sleep in the same bed. You can't have
hmm
the women do stuff like cheating or like do all that other stuff. And I'm like, what the frick? How's it gonna be interesting then? Come on. And then of course,
yeah,
after the Comics Code Authority left, romance
The
comics for
Ulysses.
women and women in general, boom, gone. Just
John.
fall
Yeah.
off the face of the earth. Like what the crap?
Mhm.
Yeah, that
They-
Comics Code Authority messed up a lot of genres, especially the horror genre.
Oh yeah.
There one time the women in comics were just, they're for the men to be as love interest. That's
Well, I mean, a lot of female characters in comics, like there's a whole term that got started in comics because this is what female characters would be. They would just be sort of love interests that help the plot go forward, right? They would get fridged. There's so many characters in comics that get fridged that is like a core element of the main character, right? Gwen Stacy, right? That she died to develop Peter Parker as a character, right?
Yeah.
And that's what ends up happening.
Yes.
And it's so weird because they're trying to do that, like, but the opposite now. They're having more guys get fridged. And I'm like, well, how about nobody gets fridged? You can
Yeah.
further a plot and development without having to fridge somebody. Like, come on. Let's think outside the box.
Oh, but this is, I know classics. I know that's true. But this, I know classy. But yeah, where were we? So when I check Snyderverse to Netflix, how this is not going to happen because it,
Everybody knows.
I still like that panel. I don't care what people say. Batman falling down Earth in one piece, badass. Don't care.
what's this? What
Like-
news is there?
Batman fell from Earth and survived.
Yes, he's Batman. That's why.
Well, Warner
What?
Brothers is looking to sell its music library.
It's
One
Everybody
music.
buy it quick.
Like, I think people also have to understand, they do have to. They're probably selling wise because they got all of this financial problems while they merged with Warner Brothers because
Mhm.
of all the financial problems that the old regime caused and everything like that, and now they have to try to get this whole company out of debt.
Oh, geez.
Sounds like another company called Netflix. Yeah, and you're gonna take on the Snyderverse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna pay all that money to get Snyder's movies.
Here's the thing.
Oh boy.
People are right. Netflix has had other companies produce their stuff on their streaming service. But here's the thing: those companies made those shows or made those movies. Like Sandman, for example, was filmed by Warner Brothers. It wasn't filmed by Netflix. It was filmed by
No.
Warner Brothers.
Yeah, Warner Brothers.
I mean,
So
what-
if the Snyderverse stuff, it's not gonna be filmed by Netflix. It's gonna be filmed by Warner Brothers because they own the freaking characters.
Yeah.
Did you see some people
On a barrel.
making jokes saying just send it to Tubi or what was that?
I
one
read
that-
that joke all the time.
What's the service that begins with the Q? QB?
Well, that's
No, that's dead.
Cracker?
They sell it off to a dead company. Yeah.
Yeah, I
There's
mean,
one called Cracker.
Could
isn't
be.
it?
You remember all celebrities were trying to get trying to make QB something like Sophie Turner had
Yeah.
a show on it, Kevin Hart.
That was a epic fail. That's like the
Yeah.
biggest fail of Hollywood, in my opinion.
Nobody wants to
Was
see 10
Quibi.
minute episodes. Nobody wants to see 10-minute episodes. People do not. People make 10-minute episodes on YouTube. Content creators do it on YouTube, and it's better on there.
And then it came out at the wrong time too, where it was like everybody was inside because of the pandemic. So it was like people just want to see a full length series. Like why they gotta watch this 10-minute BS? You know what I mean? Like it made no sense.
But it's just sell it to them. That was a.
Yeah, it was like a 10-minute idea.
Yeah,
Like just like happened and then it left.
yeah,
No one even. It wasn't that long ago, and there's people here who don't even know it. Like, it's that sad.
yeah. But the Snyderverse should go to Tubi, and people really. Is it true? The name I don't want to say on here, but you know what I'm talking about. The guy, Ski Walker. He's taking credit for the hashtag.
I have no clue.
George,
I don't even.
George,
I don't know.
is that what it's on Max's stream? He's taking credit for the hashtag
Which stream was this? A Max? I
a
feel like
couple
this
days
is.
ago.
I know it definitely wasn't the one where there was no. Wait, was it the one where Max wasn't talking, but you heard still talk?
That's a funny video.
I can't believe that.
No, I think it was a couple before that. I think it was the
Okay.
day before. It was,
I feel like at this point, that's all like these accounts can rely on hashtags and like keeping this thing going. It's never gonna end. This
I want
concept.
to see something even stupid.
Well, they've gaslight themselves into believing that it works. So
They made this the foundation of their channel. They don't know how to do anything else with their channels. And the thing is, oh wait, I just lost my train of thought.
Go ahead.
The thing is like they are like in the bargaining stage of grief. It took them like almost 2 years to get out of the denial stage.
So it's gonna take 2 years from the being grief stage.
So like the anger,
well, they're just gonna continue.
Yeah.
and it's like at this point, I think people just want to move on, and that includes some Snyder fans. But the thing is, it's like there's even a divide in Snyder fandom where Snyder fans have accepted it and will give James Gunn a chance, or will be excited for the future, or just move on to Rebel Moon and the other stuff that Snyder's doing. And then you have half of them that are still holding on to this, and they're literally. This is what I wanted to say. They're literally that scene from Dumb and Dumber. So you're telling me there's still a chance?
Yeah,
And it's like the
it's
question
never gonna go away at this point. That's
and
what
the
I
question
believe.
is who's the dumb and who's the dumber?
Blind bro, check your Twitter. I sent you the proof.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to check it after the stream because I'm on my phone.
Oh,
Okay.
you're on your phone.
I'm also on my phone.
just like-
Twinsies.
I'm on my
James
phone.
Gunn can erase the Snyderverse by killing it. Here's the thing: there's really no such thing as the Snyderverse. Okay.
It's the DCEU.
Yeah.
No such
Well,
thing
the
as
thing
the
is-
DCEU.
That's not the perception now because I'm pretty sure people will
That's true.
associate the characters with the Snyderverse. It's not like there's different actors, right? It's the same actors.
Hey,
It's the same continuity.
What's up?
So
Yeah, but you know what? They still don't own the characters. They think Zack Snyder owns the characters. So
no,
They
yeah.
want
Yeah, I
Zack to
just
own the
realized that. I was like, wait, how is he going to continue the Snyderverse when he doesn't own the character? He's not with the company. He can't use those characters.
And
those
it's not, and
people are not very
here's
bright.
here's another thing that needs to be critiqued is Zack Snyder himself. Zack Snyder himself, I think he has a lot to blame because he's
Oh, you
never
agree with
really
Charcoal on that. I do too
He-
now.
he's literally the one who's just stirring the pot because if he likes something, they're all gonna think there's a chance and he supports it and all this stuff. And to be honest, why? This is what I would ask him. Why would you do this? Like I get you have a fan base and stuff, and it's cool when you have like a group of people that follow you, whatever, right? But like if something is unrealistic, you gotta tell them, right? Because I don't think anything dangerous will happen if they keep going. But like, you don't want to mislead people. You
Yeah,
know what I
like,
mean? Like, why is he misleading people?
The problem,
Exactly. He enables his fan base, and it's bad.
And the,
Yeah,
the other
that's the
thing
problem. Like, you shouldn't enable the fan base. Like, I think I saw something on Twitter
See?
that he liked someone's post about Netflix and Starverse and stuff like that.
He thinks
Yeah,
like-
why do that?
these people think Army of the Dead was a
Oh my
Oscar-worthy
God.
movie.
That was
Okay.
like that was the
It's
big.
not.
That was
I
the,
haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's
That was-
Bianca, I advise you not to see it because it's trash.
That
Well,
was like
I don't like
wasted
any of
2
his
hours.
movies anyway. The only
Well,
one I
Yeah.
actually
well,
watched
Just
most
stay
of the
clear
time
of
was
his movies.
300.
Army
Here's
Dad
the
is
thing.
Yep.
Here's the thing. Anyone that
Degrassi, by this comment here, Degrassi doesn't sound hopeful about that movie either.
Here's the thing. Anyone that says Army of the Dead is a better movie than his first film, Dawn of the Dead, which is actually a really good zombie movie, it does not know what they're talking about.
No, they don't.
But
Agreed.
Oh.
you know what's gonna happen. They're gonna say, well, didn't James Gunn write that film? So it's not that good. It's like, yeah, no,
Yeah, they'll say that after the fact, right?
yeah, it's like
Sucker
it's like they
Punch.
ignore.
I give credit to Batista for trying all these major lead roles, but that movie did not make him look good.
And the thing is that he missed out on being in the Suicide Squad to be in that movie.
Oh my god.
I mean, he probably could get a role
Yeah, he's gonna cross over.
in the DC universe with Gunn involved, but it's like honestly, like it would have looked better to be in the Suicide Squad than Army of the Dead. I mean that movie
Mhm.
kind of felt pointless because the character they went to rescue just died at the end
Well,
with that plane
And
crash.
if you think about it, I agree here, George, because Dave Bautista, I think he would have had. I mean, it would have been like a 50-50 because I know he's talking about he doesn't want to be Drax, right? And Batista was supposed to play Peacemaker. So that means by that logic he would have been the star of Peacemaker. And that show was a
You know
massive
why?
hit.
I think John
So-
Cena was a better choice for Peacemaker.
I mean, yeah, definitely.
I mean, I can see why Dave Bautista was up for that role because it actually makes more sense. I mean, if you were said John Cena like back then, I couldn't really see it.
So
He's-
Now,
He
obviously,
chose the
it's a
wrong
different
movie
story.
then.
Hold on, Marcus. So you're saying that like Army of the
he's-
Dead is mature, and we have to be mature and be these
But here's the
philosophical
thing.
thinkers to like the movie?
He's calling us anti-Snyders now.
That
Oh my
reminds me.
goodness.
Well, I am
James
anti-Snyder. I
Gunn
never denied that.
did-
I love the-
James
Can
Gunn.
I just say this? I never got this idea where like you have to be a great philosophical thinker to understand Snyder's movies.
And you know what's funny too? These people couldn't even last a day in a philosophy class. So
Oh
Wow.
my goodness.
How did
they want to
general
talk about how
audience- general
deep.
audience doesn't care about that. Like they don't care. They don't go to the same movie the way they think, especially comic book movies. They're not there to really.
No, but what is there to think in a Snyder
Yeah,
movie?
exactly.
There's nothing. Like if you've
Telling
never, if
people
you didn't finish high school, maybe no, I'm not shooting at anybody, but I'm just saying maybe it might be deep. But I mean, like this is like basic stuff. Okay, there's no like
There's no
maybe
debating it.
emotions and characters, but we're not talking about something that is high level academic thinking. Come on, I hate when people talk about Snyder like that. Like,
And here's
just
the thing.
relax.
I
talk about
also
enjoying-
do hate.
He's gonna jump to DC though. He's gonna be a different character in DC.
I
can
do
see
Here's
that.
the-
hate if you criticize his film. That I guess you hate Snyder now.
Here's the thing though that I want to throw in there. So basically, if comic book movies are movies that you turn your brain off to enjoy, so what's the point of the Snyder movies? Because because some people don't enjoy them.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of turning your
Well,
brain off to enjoy it?
Brian Brill was said Snyder is not exactly the best writer for his movies or the best script.
No, really?
No.
I wouldn't have thought.
Yo, look at Marcus Cruz acting like he's this big philosophical thinker. No, literally, like seriously, like
Basic stuff. Yo, no.
I
If you
tell
want to
everybody
talk
all
about
the
philosophy,
time.
why don't you name me some branches of philosophy?
Yeah, the stuff we deep about Batman Gate Trigger.
listen.
Give me the
yeah.
definition of existentialism without Googling it.
Listen.
Here's the thing: Zack Snyder tried to make Superman like Jesus by sacrifice, and he gets resurrected, like how Jesus was in biblically. I'm sorry, but Superman was created by two Jewish people, not to be like Jesus, to be like Moses. So he got that idea wrong. He had no idea. And I don't think Zach Marcus claimed he read the comics all he want, but I don't think he has. I think he just read the graphic novels for other
No,
people.
he reads.
Well, didn't he say that Frank
stories
Miller
that
was
he
his
liked.
favorite? So that's the
Exactly,
one he
Frank Miller,
chose?
yeah.
Well,
And I'm like,
there's
I
a
don't
quote
know.
from
That's
Zack
not exactly
Snyder.
the best inspiration, right? The best inspiration.
There's a quote from Zack Snyder he says that he was handed a comic book and he was like, why would Why would anybody read this if it doesn't have
I
like
was just,
above 18 that
I
didn't
was- I
have
was-
sex and violence in it?
I was
It's a
I was
quote from him.
I was at the Twitter. I was checking Twitter about a comparison between Tony Stark's death and Superman's death in BVS, and how a guy says, of course, Snyder called this, said Superman's death was more impactful than Tony
No, it's
Stark's
not.
death in Endgame.
my
I'm like,
God.
what?
Oh my! Wait a minute. You're telling me that a character that's been in like so many movies for like the last 11 years, his death was less impactful than Superman's, who died in the second movie of the universe? For goodness sakes, Yondu's death in Guardians Volume 2 was more impactful than Superman's.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Oh yeah.
Like that was more impactful. Yeah, he only appeared in 2 movies, but good lord, it was more impactful because
Here's
Like,
the
there
thing,
was-
K Dot. The only he's not even Arkham Batman. He's not
No,
even the
it's
same.
not.
No.
I mean, he had one cool fight. I'll give it this. The
Yes.
Batman fight scene in
Here's the
Batman
problem,
vs Superman
Marcus.
is cool.
Here's the problem, Marcus. And you know what made Death of Superman the comic so great about his death? Everybody in the world loved him, except like Lex Luthor, some
there
criminal.
was
But
so
the
many
whole world
years of
loved him.
build up for Superman in
Yeah.
the comics.
And in
That's
BVS, it was still divided.
Marcus,
I mean, I'm gonna give. Hold on. I'll give Marcus credit. He is technically right. Okay, but here is the thing. I didn't give a shit about that Superman. I didn't give 2 hoots. He had no personal connection. He was super. I mean, it's not even that he's dry. He has no emotions because that's the Superman that he was built up to be. So when he dies, you're like, why do I even care? Why should I shed a tear for the Superman and he wouldn't shed a tear for me? He didn't give a shit about any of the people he was saving. Did you see the whole beginning where he's saving people and he's like, oh my God, like it's such a burden. Like it's like you're lucky I'm saving you. It's like, come on, it makes no sense.
I didn't even get that.
And here's
I
the thing
watched
about
it for
Tony
the very
Stark's
first
death
time.
Here's the thing
Yeah.
about Tony Stark's death. He had a bunch of movies. Tony had a family too. He had a daughter and a wife. Yes, and all that. And
also don't forget, like he just
Wait,
got
how
Peter
long
back as well.
is the first movie and the second movie like between each other? Like
They're
how
like
has-
3 years.
How?
3 years, and he was gonna marry Lois Lane after just meeting her for 3 years.
Yeah,
Zack-
exactly.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder did a death of Superman the wrong way.
Yeah.
Also,
Oh
here's
wait,
the thing.
They were still divided for 3
wait,
years.
wait, hold on.
Wait, are you talking about within the movie, the story, or are you talking about
Yes, within
the
the
actual
story.
Oh, it's not even a year.
Wait, also,
It
here's the thing.
literally happens like fairly. Maybe it is a year between Man of Steel and BVS.
Let me check.
Also, let's also acknowledge that there's Snyder fans
Exactly.
that think Henry Cavill's Superman and Amy Adams' Lois Lane is the best. Like,
She's
comic book
boring. She doesn't even
relationship.
act
It's
like
like-
Lois Lane.
here's the thing. You know what? Like, they are so wrong. Like, listen, Tony and Pepper in the MCU, way better couple than Superman and Lois Lane in the DCEU. There's actually
Because they had
build-up,
chemistry.
build up, and it's like,
And you know what's
That's the
sad
thing.
about that? Amy Adams is an Academy Award-winning actress.
yeah.
Yeah, she had no
Adams
chemistry with
personally,
Henry Cavill.
Honestly, she was miscast.
It was.
It's not-
it
it's
was
not even a year.
awkward.
It's
Mhm.
not even a year. It takes 8 months after the men's.
Look, even
He was
Marcus
gonna
is admitting
propose?
that she was mid.
Oh,
I mean,
my
okay.
God.
did Hustle come out the same year? Or was it a year after?
That was like a year. That was a year before Man of Steel.
But yeah, like it's not real technically a year. It takes 8 months. It says 8 months.
It says 8 months, so that's worse. That's
So-
worse.
I mean, whether it's 8 or 18 months, that's still a short amount of time.
8 months? Like, are you serious? Like,
Yeah.
Yo, they just like randomly like kiss like.
Oh, never mind.
as, like,
I read
all
wrong.
the-
18
the
months.
crap and all the
okay,
stuff.
18 months.
I,
Okay.
I hate
You
to
know.
say that. Just say a year and whatever months.
Yeah, imagine if it was actually months. Sorry.
Emma Watson?
Oh my no,
I don't know
I
what that-
still
My
I
my
still
my,
see-
my
I
favorite
still
Lois
see her
Lane
as
is-
Hermione. No,
She's,
Uh,
she's not a
Lois
bad
Lane.
actress. It's just that.
Who's your favorite Lois Lane?
I have to say, those Harry Potter kids, they actually turned out to be pretty good actors.
Oh, Daniel Radcliffe's really good.
Yeah. Yes, they did.
Okay, maybe.
I agree there.
Yeah.
Radcliffe was a
Heck
good
yeah.
actor, really good actor.
Wonderbat, let's go.
Oh yeah, I'll give you a link.
Better
I
than
think in
who?
my group chat. Check.
It's just like there's so many delusions about like these movies that people have.
Yep.
Like it's deep.
It's not. It's like they're not even
philosophical,
watching the
and, like,
movie,
it's not
George.
really.
It's like here's the thing, like you don't have to be an MCU fan to see that like there were more things in the MCU that were more impactful than in the DCEU.
hmm
Like that's the thing. Like people don't get that like Tony Stark actually was a character general audiences loved in the MCU, while general audiences still didn't know how to feel about Henry Cavill's Superman.
Bruh,
That's the
my
thing
dad
that people
saw
are missing the
Superman
point of.
die in the movie theater, and he loves Superman.
Like
his heart
even
broke.
well, like even in the movies
Okay,
that
yeah.
like Iron Man was in that people may not have liked that much, like Iron Man 2, like people still loved Robert Downey Jr. So it's like that character had more of an impact with general audiences than Henry Cavill's Superman ever did.
All right, I'm gonna head out, guys. It's 12 a.m. here. Night.
Take care, Bianca.
Take care,
All
Bianca.
right, see ya.
Okay, hey, Dot, what's up?
Yo, just came to kick it with you guys for a bit.
Yo, what's up?
Awesome.
What up?
I mean, George did bring up a good point. Iron Man 2 sucked ass, but RDJ was still the best thing about that movie. He was still, and that's because he was such a good, he had a good presence as an actor, you know. But other than that, you still liked RDJ in that movie, regardless if the rest of it was mid.
Now, can you say the same thing about Henry Cavill?
Nah, because with Henry Cavill, I was I look at Man of Steel like most people look at Episode 7, right? When Episode 7 of Star Wars came out, people had a lot of questions and some potential issues, but they was like, hey, maybe the second movie will fix things and answer some questions and develop things a bit more. That's how it was with Henry Cavill with Man of Steel. I was like, okay, he's kind of down and sour, but maybe in the second movie he starts to, elevate and start to love the world more, be a little bit more optimistic. And no, it just literally went backwards again. He regressed yet again. I'm like, dang, And looking back on it, Man of Steel, I can't even really like it as much because Henry Cavill. Someone literally put up a meme where Henry Cavill, y'all remember Plank from Ed, Ed and Eddie?
Yeah.
Yes. Saying he was a Plank because like
It's accurate.
He was a Plank. He looked like Superman. I will always say this. He looked like a Superman. He had the muscles, the body, the mass, the look. He had everything.
Everything.
He had everything, but he had everything when it comes to the look. When it came to the character, like, I'm sorry, I cannot, and this still bothers me, and I can't get past it. And mind you, it's a minor thing, but it's a big thing at the same time. In no universe do I believe Clark Kent would let a tornado kill his father. I'm sorry.
There's no way.
Especially at super speed.
Right. You know what? And even if he didn't have super speed, Clark Kent, regardless of what those other people thought, he would have either jumped over to his father, used his super speed. He would have grabbed his father regardless of anything. Even if his dad told him, son, don't help me. Clark is just going to want to help because he always had that nature within him. That nature was there to help.
It's that scene is the dumbest scene in a comic book movie in the last 10 years because he could just run over and no one would even understand what was going on because they were so focused on the tornado.
They do it in the other adaptations.
But they pull the philosophical and say you don't get the philosophical meaning of it. It's like, oh my goodness.
Well, what philosophical?
That's the thing, right? I understood what Snyder was going for, but I can understand something and still realize, okay, it still doesn't work. I understand what you was trying to do. I get it, but it still doesn't work with this character you're using. Now, if you did this with, I don't know, Wolverine or something, Okay, I can see a Wolverine type of character doing that, not saving somebody from a freaking tornado, because Logan is a lot more cold-hearted.
Mhm.
But you can't do that with Superman. This guy literally, I mean, this guy literally, I think it was All-Star Superman. He literally talked to a girl who was going to commit suicide for hours. Most people couldn't do what he was doing. Mind just a fictional story, but most people couldn't sit there and do that. Talk to somebody for hours who's on the brink of committing suicide and talk them out of it. And that's a very powerful thing. A very powerful thing to see a character like Superman do, which we don't see him do. We see his power. We don't see the power of his character. We see his physical power, but not the power of his character.
Yeah, I agree. But Marcus, just you don't have to block anybody because they disagree with you. Just relax, Marcus.
Marcus,
don't
you're
be the
sounding
next
like a certain other person who I'm not gonna mention.
I'm
Like seriously,
not even.
this is like vibes from my stream on Tuesday.
But it's as far as it goes with look, honestly, I understand why people like Cavill. It's the same reason people like Ben Affleck. Remember when Ben Affleck was the best part about BVS. He was. I will admit that. Even though I had issues with his Batman, he was the best part about BVS.
Yeah.
Way better than Superman.
Yes, I agree.
But I noticed a lot of people's takeaway from BVS when it comes to Ben Affleck is the warehouse scene. But if you go to something like, I don't know, Batman Begins, or Batman, he's in the lead, but people don't really take away the action from him. They take away the character, the quotes, what he's saying, what he's, the more important things. Like the action is definitely mandatory in a comic book movie. You can't have a comic book movie without action, Blade. But what's more important is the characters, the dialogue, the story you're telling. That's why Quentin Tarantino movies, most of them is just talking. They're amazing. It's literally just people talking about random nonsense, which goes back to which it is nonsense that turns into a very philosophical conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the Batman does so well.
Yeah.
Right. The action is not the highlight. Well,
No,
there is some good action in the movie, but it's not.
it wasn't the focus.
Yeah, and it's not even like BVS level
It was
action.
more-
BVS had way better action.
It was
but-
more about development.
right, that character.
Mm-hmm.
Like it makes the development of characters, whether it's villain or good guy, makes actually to me the action scenes better because you want stakes involved. And to me, it's like wrestling. You want two wrestlers to go at each other, but you want it to be heated. You want it to be heated where characters are, really hit each other. You want the story to develop, where you just don't want them to fight each other for no reason at all.
Because it's like prime example. Even though I don't need to watch a 2-hour movie of development to see this happen, but I'm gonna use Godzilla vs. Kong prime example, right? Warner Brothers, Legendary, whoever worked on the movie could have easily just released a 30-minute video on YouTube of these two guys fighting. Super short, super short. Just here, you guys fight, and it's in the same quality as the film we saw. But how long would that fight really last if there's not a good story behind it to really back it up? There's a lot of comic book movies now. You guys probably do the same thing too. I definitely do it. I think a lot of people do this in general. Like when I go back to look up clips of MCU movies or just comic book movies in general, I usually go back to look at the action scenes because like the rest of the movie doesn't really hold up to the action, which is so much better. But there'll be times I go look up something like The Dark Knight, and I'm going to go literally watch the interrogation scene because I want to hear the dialogue and back and forth in that scene once again. I don't go on to YouTube to look up Dark Knight action sequences. I do sometimes, but I'm going to look up the scenes with the dialogue, character development, story, all
This
that.
would probably be good. Yeah, same with the Batman. Some of the best scenes are it's none. Like one of my favorite scenes is the Alfred in the hospitals. Like the whole Alfred stuff with Bruce Wayne.
Mhm.
How like Bruce just like gives him the cold shoulder all the time, and then all of a sudden you see him in the hospital. Bruce kind of opens up to him,
Yeah,
about like that's impactful.
I think when it's just, and it's a small scene, but the scene when he's after he beats up the goons at the beginning of the movie, and he's walking through the hallway into and Officer Martinez, does something bold, and he puts his hand on Batman's chest. A very bold thing to do, and I just like the way that
Mhm.
whole scene was shot. It reminded me of and Matt Reeves did direct it, but when you see Caesar walking in the Planet of the Apes, and it's in a very contained walkway, and the camera zoomed in on his back, and you're
Mark,
just following them through their
Marcus,
view.
the reason why it's impactful that scene in the hospital was because Bruce was giving Alfred a cold shoulder, like it had nothing to do with him. But he's not doing it to be mean. He's doing it so he wouldn't be vulnerable, because losing his parents made him reclusive. He doesn't want to be heartbroken again. So try not being close to Alfred, because he knows if he loses Alfred, it's it's like losing his parents all over again. But we're not seeing before Alfred opened up the envelope when he was in his Batmobile, yelling Alfred. You can see how much he really does care about Alfred. And when they're in the hospital, Bruce opens up, admitting to Alfred that he can't lose somebody else that he loves. Like that's how impactful it is. Like losing Alfred, it's like almost losing his parents all over again. That's how impactful it is to Bruce.
More impactful than Martha.
Yeah, or yeah.
That's why you just like you said, he was almost in the sense he wasn't disowning Alfred from him, but he was definitely trying to push him push him slightly away. So if something did happen, he would still be heartbroken, but he's not going to he wouldn't fall into a certain pit, a certain pit of despair and all that
Mhm.
stuff. Like, he would still be disconnected enough to where he can kind of still push and keep moving
Mhm.
forward.
You got to remember in the Arkham Origins, you saw how bad he saw how he reacted to Alfred when Bane basically kind of killed Alfred, and you saw how Bruce reacted to that. It's like he was scared. He was like it's like losing his. He even had images of losing his. Yeah, he had to go, but he was hit. Oh yeah, I guess Arkham had.
I'm right
Blind
here.
Bill had to go, yeah. Blind Bill will be back. But he also had the images of his parents all dying again. And he tried anything to get Alfred to revive Alfred. He obviously did with the electric, whatever it was, from Electrocutioner. And then you saw, like, after that, he was very vulnerable. He felt like he couldn't save Gotham, that he couldn't do this. And Alfred, like, kind of inspired him, no, you can't, but not on your own. Stuff like that. You see, Alfred means a lot to Bruce, because Alfred means a lot to his parents. And you saw like Alfred's basically a second father.
Yep. He's the uncle he always needed.
Yeah. It's like losing Alfred to him is like losing his parents all over again. And that's the only reason he didn't want to get close.
Marcus, check your spelling.
What?
Notice my comment. What do you think this is? Movie Madness Entertainment?
Yeah.
Notice my comment.
Iram.
Notice my comment. Ugh.
Also, like, I think you saw in that Batman.
Well, quick question. I saw the title of it. Do you guys think Pattinson is going to make a cameo in the Penguin?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at the last episode.
Last episode. I'm hoping for it. I want him to be in it as, well, I would say it would be interesting to, like I say, watch the story from Penguin's perspective, and Batman's in it, but he's kind of like a side character, like almost the antagonist of the story. Because in this, Penguin's the protagonist. Protagonist doesn't always mean you're the bad guy. It just means you're the one we follow, and your antagonist could be good, but that's the person that's going against you.
He's gonna have a bunch of antagonists. There's gonna be other mobsters, like the Falcone family, like the Sophia,
Now, I don't
Alberto,
think they will have like
Maroney.
Patterson like do that many scenes. I feel like um,
Just
Batman's just gonna have one scene,
it's,
in probably one or two scenes, or just one scene
yeah,
at the last episode. Um,
Yeah, that's
I
why I
guess,
feel like Batman gotta like for because he's going against Penguin's going against other mobsters and stuff.
yeah.
And I feel like Batman would definitely be in on this since
Batman should just like at the end, at the last
right
episode or whatever,
show up at
and
the
warn
end
him.
and he's there to like clean house or whatever.
Mhm.
He helps out Penguin dealing with the other mobsters, but it's kind of like
Yeah, and he
you
gives him a warning. Gives him a warning.
right.
Like, yeah. So he's basically a protagonist, but he's antagonist of Batman, but he's a protagonist in his own show because yeah, like he's going up against other mobsters, and they're pretty much the antagonists.
and I know there's rumors that I think Ventriloquist Scarface is gonna be in the series. To Black Mask is
They
rumored
kind of do need
also.
new DA, don't they?
Um, and I
Harvey
think
Dent.
and I think it was. I don't think it was confirmed, but it was kind of hinted that you might get a like an Easter egg of Clayface in the series.
If they,
I just since Arkham mentioned, I hope with the Black Mask again, I just hope he's way better than Ewan McGregor's Black Mask.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that was very good.
I just want him to literally be. I don't want him to be a whiny
no,
simp I'm he was simping for Black Canary to move. Like he liked her. He was one of those guys that was like, "You're my girlfriend," but the girl's like, "No, I'm not your girlfriend. I mean, you're not my boyfriend." He was like, "Oh, we're together." Like, dude, you're not together with her. Relax. But yeah, I just hope I honestly want him to be almost like a Carmine Falcone. But he's obviously crazier. But I want him
he's
to carry
worse.
himself. I want him to carry himself as a character, like a Carmine Falcone, but so much worse.
And he does have connection to the Reigns too. Their family does. The Sionists have connections to the Reigns. Like the Cobblepot Reigns and Elliot and Sionis all have connections.
Yeah, he's with the Sionis family.
Yeah. And I read the comics. He got dropped on his head as a baby.
Yeah, it makes sense why it makes sense why he basically takes cigarettes.
Well,
He lights cigarettes, throws them in people's mouths.
he's really sadistic, like really sadistic. Oh,
When we got him in Arkham Origins, he really did not torture that much people like the game hyped it up to be.
yeah, because it was Joker all along, pretty much. It was Joker the whole time, right? Like,
It was Joker all along.
yeah, it was Joker all along. Yeah, I mean, he was in Arkham City too for like a minute. He was in the opening scene.
Yeah, I saw that cameo. You know what? And after I actually missed that, and I didn't find out until years later that Black Mask was there, and I went back to go play it because I wanted to see it. And I didn't find out until years later after Arkham City came out.
Yeah, him and I guess it's a fake dead shots in it. Is that the fake dead? Yeah, it's a fake dead shot.
Yeah, it was fake. Yeah.
That was so. I'm not tripping on Deadshot being black. I'm fine with that, but why?
They changed that because
why tell me
it's because of the movie?
Deadshot for 2 games.
It's because of the movie?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's definitely because of the movie.
Yeah, like
I have no issue with this, but I have no issue with Deadshot being black. I'm fine with that. I accept.
Yeah,
but then I'm like, you really had me fight a fake Deadshot for 2 games. 2 games.
When Batman know if that's a fake dead shot? I don't know.
Yeah, he definitely would have mentioned that. He definitely mentioned that in Arkham City, you're just a cheap imitation.
Yeah,
Would have definitely mentioned that, like, you're just cheap imitation.
I don't think like as smart as Batman is, like if you use the same
George could be canceled.
if you use the
Oh
same
my goodness.
if you use the same gear as Deadshot and the same gun and casings and stuff like that, I don't think it would be noticeable that it was a fake Deadshot.
Why would someone imitate Deadshot in the first place?
I don't know, like, but like,
I think that okay, because the mask he had right now we didn't in in the Suicide Squad game he has that white mask like
yeah,
like movie the more modern day mask, and the Deadshot we seen in the Arkham games has the old school Deadshot mask before the white one. I mean, it's cool and all, but it's like I don't really appreciate fighting a imitation this whole time. I think we had enough of that in the Arkham franchise. When Joker was Black Mask this whole time, Clayface was Joker, and he played us.
Yes, it is.
It's like I get it. You're gonna keep playing me. Jeez, all this deceit. And then we come to find out the Arkham Knight, he's Jason Todd, which was obvious, so obvious. But
Yeah.
I think
what a twist!
I was fine with it, to be honest. Like,
I just wish it wasn't so obvious. They made it super duper obvious, too obvious.
yeah, I guess they could have done better with the trailers to not make it obvious.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't the trailers. I think it was. It was in the. So remember when you get near the end of the game, and then
Yeah, I know. Like the
flashbacks. I was like, all right, now you guys just spoiling it at this point. You didn't even.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when the Joker said, you know the thing about Jason Todd, where he didn't really kill him. He mentioned he's in his head, right? In Batman's head, he mentioned about Jason Todd. That gave it away right away to me.
It wasn't even just that though. They said it wasn't Jason Todd like months before the game released.
Yes, they did
So
say
like
that.
everybody was pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they had Red Hood as the pre-order bonus. So it was like they flat out lied to everybody.
And there was prequel comics to it too.
Yeah.
I don't think
that-
we're really gonna say that. Like, as a company, like even if the fans were right, the company's not gonna say, "Oh yeah."
They flat out said it wasn't Jason Todd. Like it was in a tweet. It was like the most infamous thing Rocksteady has done up until this point. It's like
yeah, like
when people said, "Oh, was it
course they're
Jason
gonna
Todd?"
say that. Like, here's my point of view. Of course they're gonna say that because they're not gonna say it's
They didn't need to say anything.
They could have just left it
Like
silent.
there's so many rumors that ends up being true, and you never hear the company confirm it. So they just did that because everybody was like, "Oh, they're only putting out this pre-order bonus because he is the Arkham Knight." That was the theory, right? And it gained such a huge popularity that it was all over. I remember this. This is like 7 years ago now, but everybody was like, "It's for sure Jason Todd." And then they kind of got some backlash after it. So
I saw in the Game Facts forums.
Well, see, if y'all read I know Arkham probably read it, but the prequel comics, Arkham stuff. So basically, Jason was there like during Arkham Asylum and stuff. He was like setting up and prepping this event. Well, it's since Arkham Asylum, but I kind of wish they started mentioning Jason back in Arkham Asylum to build it up more. It's not that there wasn't a Jason, but like Jason getting thrown into this third game was kind of random in general. Because Batman,
it's random. There's no setup, and the thing is, everybody knows that after Arkham City, in the development of Arkham Knight, they let go of Paul Dini. I don't know what happened. It never came out, but we know that he left. Yeah, they changed the whole Hush storyline. Like the Hush sequence in Arkham Knight I mean, they set it up in Arkham City. Like it's set up to be
terrible in
the heart
Arkham
of
Knight.
Hush.
How they finished?
Yeah, it was terrible, and that was because they cut the whole side quest, and so they just left in that little part because they were like, "Well, we got a new writer and stuff."
So the main villain was really supposed to be Hush in this third game.
Yeah,
it's never been confirmed, but that's what the theory is. Because the thing is, Paul Dini set it up. Like it was even set up in Arkham Asylum.
Yeah,
if you go back in Arkham Asylum and look, I'm pretty sure there's a newspaper that's talking about the killings that you now have to investigate in Arkham City. So this was set up for all those two games.
I wondered what happened between Rocksteady and Paul Dini.
Arkham
I have
Asylum
no clue.
also had Thomas Elliot working there as a doctor. As you see on the in
Mhm.
the Easter egg, when you save one of those doctors, you see the schedule, and it said Thomas T. Elliot.
Do you think
Remember that?
the
Yeah,
reason
yeah. What were you saying, Arkham?
uh
Sorry.
do you think the reason why I guess they parted ways is they had some kind of, I guess,
Some creative differences or
grave
something.
differences and stuff like that?
They wanted to be hushed. He
They
wanted to be
have.
hushed.
Yeah.
Probably just down to creative differences. I don't know what else it would be unless because Paul Dini was just a writer, right? He wasn't like a
Yeah.
director or anything.
No, he was just the writer. Yeah.
I did
Sure.
Arkham City. Arkham City. You're right. Before you you go to the building where Hush is doing all those cutting off people's faces to make his face look like Bruce Wayne. You see in the church him lying down with a container, and you go to ask the
Mhm.
doctor. You talk to the doctor, and the doctor basically explains what happened to this guy. Like this guy lost it and started to cut off the face of his face and stuff like that. Right? I think you're right. I think they were setting up Hush to be a major role in Arkham Knight.
Well, the thing is, if you this is my theory. Okay, if you play Arkham Knight, the whole sequence that happens to Catwoman, that's literally what happens in Heart of Hush. Like besides the whole heart surgery and all that stuff, but the
Yeah.
fact that the Riddler kidnapped Catwoman,
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't even make any sense. It just seems so random. But if it was Hush, that makes more sense because now he's starting to know who Bruce Wayne actually is, right? He's like, that's why I kidnapped her because and then he does the reveal and stuff. So the thing, and then the fact is also too, Scarecrow was clearly set up, right? So it was probably he was definitely going to be a villain, right? Because there's that Easter egg in Arkham City
In
where
the
if you
comics, they do
go,
have
Oh,
in the
yeah.
comics they do have a connection. Hush
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
Scarecrow.
that
yeah,
those Scarecrow stuff used to freak me out in Arkham.
Didn't he used to be a psychiatrist for Hush? The young intern. He used to be a psychiatrist, right?
I'm not sure about that, but
In Heart of Hush. Wasn't he like a
Even though I
um,
like the
remember?
game,
When
I
Hush
would wonder what would happen if they made, because I do have a feeling maybe Hush would have been the main villain.
it just makes too much sense
Hush
that he was the main
Hush
villain.
always
Well,
gets robbed.
I don't think he would have been the main villain, but he would have probably been a big contributing factor to this whole takeover. Just like Penguin, Two-Face, the Arkham Knight, and Scarecrow.
He's the
But
type
Tom,
of guy.
but
It
Tom,
would have made more sense
He's a
if
manipulator.
even though he doesn't have the skill set to do this, but if Arkham Knight was Hush, that would actually make some sense because again, they left that plot thread at the end of Arkham City and it makes no sense. It's like he literally sets up where it's like he says to him behind the bars, he's like whatever I'm preparing, you're gonna have to find out because it's a big thing. It's gonna blow your mind, and then he leaves, and then it's like,
Yeah.
okay, we did this whole side quest just to have a cutscene. So it was like clearly that was setting up the next game, right? Like, and they didn't even do that in Arkham Asylum. Like, there's really the only plot thread is really the Titan, which ended up only being a side quest, right? I mean, well, obviously the Joker stuff, but I mean, you get my point. Like, there was really no purpose of those three characters at the ending taking the Titan because it's like those characters are not even involved with Titan. Like Scarecrow, Killer Croc, it's only Bane who ends up being involved with it. So
I
this is
do
a
know
weird
what you mean
cutscene.
by Hush would be Arkham Knight because it kind of makes sense because he at the end because it's Thomas Elliot and etc. Like I feel like that would have made more sense, but whatever happened between Paul Dini and the Rocksteady crew, I guess it was creative differences. I don't know, but that made them change the story completely.
And then another character that my second guess for who Arkham Knight was Talia because that whole plot thread, like I can't believe she just died. It just doesn't make any sense. Like it's hard to believe that she would just die. Yeah, what were you saying? Sorry.
Wait, who died?
Talia.
She dies in Arkham City.
When Joker shot her.
Wait. Oh yeah, she did die. I forgot.
Yeah, the thing is, everybody's confused because it's like it's never. There's no focus on it. It's like she just dies,
Yeah, because
and then it's
I was confusing her with her sister in the Season of Infamy DLC.
yeah. That's her.
With her
Yeah,
sister.
I know you're talking. She's Earl.
And you know what? With the lackluster boss fights, I did forgive that Season of Infamy DLC for giving us that Nightwing and Batman and Killer Croc fight. That was pretty dope.
In the game, in Arkham City, but this game is not spoiling anything. This game came out 12 years ago.
yeah.
Yeah, like that game's like 2011. Oh wow, that feels old now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Holy
Man.
moly.
I think it would have been cool to see what Paul Dini was gonna do with Arkham Knight, but it was. Even though I still like, I do have my criticism with Arkham Knight, but I still like the game. Like,
Yeah, so
They never do Hush justice. Nobody's ever done Hush justice besides in the comics. Like anytime somebody gets their hands on Hush, whether it's in a
I
video
think
game,
Hush was gonna be done good in Arkham Knight. It's just something happened.
well,
Paul
saying.
Dini, in my opinion, Hush. I don't really like Hush outside of when Paul Dini writes him, and he's only written him a few times. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like the main story that everybody talks about for Hush is not even that good compared to Heart of Hush. Like it's like night and day. And the thing is, Heart of Hush is like 3 issues. It's not even long.
Heart of Hush? Yeah, it's very short. It's But I'm just saying, like, it's like every time somebody gets their hands on Hush to put them like in a video game or like a TV or a movie, they do a very bad job.
Yeah.
That's why I have faith in Matt Reeves when he gets his hands on Hush, if he ever does Hush, because I have more faith in him doing Hush right than anybody else, because they all failed me.
I mean, in that first trailer of the Batman, if you look at how he directed Riddler in that trailer and put the sequences up, because we was all theorizing, oh, that's Hush, because he had his face taped up and stuff. We was like, there was people literally theorizing that was Hush until Matt Reeves revealed, no, that's Riddler.
And there are Easter eggs to Hush in that film, like the Hush thing, and then the newspaper editor.
Well, and his whole motivation is very Hush.
Yes, there's some similarities.
Well, that's why I say I don't know if he's gonna do Hush. To be honest, it's like really similar.
Yeah,
outside of like their friendship.
The thing is when Bruce started to make the Edward Elliot and then the Hush, well, not the Hush, but I mean the Edward Elliot, when I'm naming mention, he didn't like. There was like no reaction, like Edward Elliot. You mean Thomas's friend? Like mention of Thomas is like something that relates to Thomas Elliot. Like yeah, it's a friend, Thomas Elliot. Like, there was nothing there. Like
I think the only way you can, I would hate to have to go back to this movie, but the Batman Hush animated movie, like
that's horrible.
The way they set up their relationship, it was like him and Bruce was friends, but they kind of like they didn't talk for years. They finally reconvened with each other because Thomas was fixing up his wounds and stuff. I think the only way to establish this is to just say Thomas Elliot was a childhood friend of Bruce before his parents died, and after his parents died, and the whole stuff, the drama, they disconnected. Thomas Elliot's a doctor, and you can, have Bruce, I don't know, get into a car crash while he's just casually driving down the street, and he ends up in hospital, and he's Thomas Elliot. And then you just go from there. Don't copy that horrible animated movie, but I think the establishment and setup until they say it was Riddler all along. So
the only good part of the anime movie was Catwoman and Batman's relationship.
I did like that
because that's in the comic anyway.
You know what?
Lady Gotham? I don't know. I mean, Lady Gotham's awesome. But...
Yes. No, this is another thing too. Lady Gotham and the Riddler and the Batman is very similar. If you play the Telltale game, that's why I kept saying I was like because I know a lot of people didn't play the Telltale's game, but if you play that game, it's very similar to Matt Reeves' The Batman. Like even the Joker, like no one has done that interpretation of the Joker where he's just a John Doe. but the Telltale's version.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like when I was watching that, I was like, oh, this is like the Telltale's game, identical. Like all those, even the relationship with Catwoman and like the on and off. It's just that she doesn't know in the movie that he's Bruce, right? So, but it's a good game though. You should play it if you haven't played it.
Can't she just get his DNA after kissing him to find out who he really is? Who she really is?
It's gonna eventually be revealed. I think they're just holding off because it'd be more dramatic. I feel like.
The thing is she in love with Batman or Bruce Wayne? That's the question.
No, she likes. I think she likes both. It's pretty.
Yeah,
I mean, his allure is the fact that he is Batman.
they're very similar. All right.
Yeah, they are.
No, I said the Arkham Batman is.
Yeah, Arkham Batman. Like I might have my issues with like certain things within Arkham Knight, but like the Arkham universe as a whole is better.
Oh
So,
yeah,
Yeah.
Guys,
that is Arkham Batman. Like in my opinion, I like him a little bit more than animated series Batman because he's kind of more. I like animated series Batman, even though this literally both Kevin Conroy, but his Batman just literally more Batman. Like he has the fantasy to him, the realism, everything, all that. Anime series Batman does lack a little, but Arkham Batman is like literally the best adaptation of Batman outside the comics, in my opinion, where you capture everything about him, fantasy down to the gadgets, him being a detective. The anime series definitely has better storytelling and better character relationships, but other than that, Arkham Batman is literally peak Batman adaptation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite game is Arkham City.
That's good. That's awesome, guys. But I'm gonna finish here. We've been 2.5 hours, so it's 12:30 where I am, like a.m. And I know K Dot has to go to work.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm gonna end it here. So we're gonna go plug our stuff. George, hit me, hi, plug your stuff.
Yeah, you can find me at the George. Ignore Marcus. You don't have to cancel me. I recently uploaded a video reviewing the movie Coach Carter because I'm doing a basketball series of reviews, and I think my next film review is going to be on the Kevin Smith film Dogma. I'm planning on watching it soon and reviewing it. But yeah, you can find me at the George. I'll put the link in the chat. And help me get to 500 subs this year so you can see my DVD collection and me possibly debate Isaac on New York.
Oh, man.
Arkham?
I changed my name, but you can find me at, I think it's, what was it, Arkham Unlimited or stuff like that. And I have 2 videos coming out, Failsafe, Dark Crisis, and Batman Joker Duo. So that's good. All reviews by this week.
Brian Braille, any streams coming up?
Yeah, I have a stream on Sunday because I only do it on Sundays. Where we're going to be predicting what's going to happen this year with video games because there's a lot of rumors, there's a lot of releases. So,
all right, K Dot, go ahead.
I really don't have much going on this weekend. Probably next week is when I'll be getting back into content. Still trying to recover from my trip, but possibly if I can get it out this weekend, I will be uploading my reaction to the Ultraman openings, which is a 2-hour video, which I am going to prepare myself for.
Awesome. Also, yeah, thank you all for listening. Okay, so Last of Us comes out Sunday. I'm not sure what time. Does anybody know what time it's?
9 o'clock.
9
o'clock. You know I'm going to know that. Yeah, 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock? Okay, so Tuesdays, usually I do my spoiler review streams, as you know, on Saturdays. But since Last of Us is coming out on Sundays, I'm changing it just for Last of Us to Tuesdays for spoiler review streams. So next Tuesday, for probably 8 weeks, maybe, I think 9 episodes. For the next basically 2 months, Tuesdays will be Last of Us spoiler review episodes. So next Tuesday is the first episode. So
Awesome.
yeah, and that probably means Ant-Man, because Ant-Man will definitely be a Saturday episode in February. Just to let you all know.
What time is it on Tuesday?
I haven't set up a time yet. I haven't set it up yet.
Oh, okay.
But yes, just to let you all know ahead of time. George, you gonna watch Last of Us?
I haven't decided yet. I need to make the time to go watch it.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna watch it because I have nothing else better to do.
Okay. So yeah, so Tuesday, everybody. So do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, comment below, and do yourself a favor. Also subscribe to everybody else here, please. Okay. All right, and to let you all know, I don't know when Max is gonna be back. I think it might be out for the next few days. He might not do 2 to Max on Saturday, so maybe I'll do something Saturday for fun. I don't know yet, but I'm planning to make a rant on WWE on this channel, even though it's my wrestling channel. I do my wrestling content, but I have to talk about WWE on this channel about potential sale to some of these companies you might know, and the potential for me to boycott, to stop being a WWE fan if you do sell to the Saudis. But thank you all for listening. Share, subscribe, comment below. Take care, guys.
Later.
Peace.